here we are. This is the Frostmoor Crows, and we're just gonna mess with the screen slightly and bring you guys over here a little bit. We'll make everybody a little bit bigger. That seems to sort of fit. Can go even bigger, like so. There we go. Okay, now we're all fitting into the little spot here. So how's everybody? Do we have a good New Year and Christmas and all of that stuff?
Just fantastic. Yep.
Just fantastic. Okay.
How about yourself, Russell? How was yours?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I've had a reasonably good Christmas, New Year, and what have you. It's been a bit quiet, but you know, getting back into the swing of things, as you say.
Yeah. I've already forgotten about it. I kind of miss it. Let's go on another holiday.
You got Easter coming up really
Just
soon.
like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're already selling hot cross buns. And I'm already eating hot cross buns.
Already eating hot cross buns. Good.
Delicious. They sell them all at Woolworths Countdown.
Alright, well,
Woolies.
where did we leave our intrepid heroes on our alt campaign storyline?
Bee Crow.
Oh no.
Now,
We delivered a box.
you delivered a
The box
box.
exploded.
Yeah.
Turned into a fiend, I think.
Oh yeah.
Or some kind of demon, devil slash
I don't-
fiend.
Yeah, I don't remember the type of creature.
It was a big fella. Was it the similar creature that was stalking the Forbidden District?
At one time it was, but I'm
Yes,
not sure it's the
yeah.
same creature that you guys fought
No,
with.
not the same one, but it's like of the same genus.
Yes.
Same species.
You might say.
Yep.
Species is a pretty broad word for it, but yep. Essentially,
And,
the creature that you fought last session was a Shasuva, which is a pretty serious fiend, as opposed to what you previously fought, which would have been a Babao in the Forbidden District. That being said, the Vanegate Chronicles crew did fight a Shasuva in the Forbidden District on stream in the Vanegate Chronicles, so you know, there's that. They've fought a few of them actually.
Yeah, around.
But yes, today is another day.
Yep. So a few things happened as well. So we fought some orcs riding bats, was it?
Yep. The red
they were of
fangs of
the-
Shargas.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, we delivered the parcel to the new orcish war chiefess.
Kagi Mingal.
Yep, and it seemed like it was some kind of a assassination attempt.
Did seem that way.
And that's where we left off.
That's where you left off. Well, having rescued or otherwise defeated the fiend from the box, the Shasuva, Kagi Mingal and her consorts and generals and advisors and what have you stand about in the war tent where you've defeated this creature. And it evaporates, as do all fiends in Sidarhael, up into a kind of a green, vapory substance, and slowly it just disappears, turning into a goo and then slowly evaporating entirely, leaving barely a stain on the floor. As that's going on, Kagi Mingal steps down from her chair towards you, and she looks at you carefully and she says, "You did not know what was in this box."
No, otherwise I would not have opened it.
I see that.
Or at least, yes.
You have
whoever
saved my life, perhaps.
I mean, in a manner of speaking, yes. In another manner, you may hold us accountable for it, but as you can see, we definitely tried to help.
Ignorance is not our excuse, though. We are responsible for our actions.
How many of you guys speak Orkan?
Oh, right.
Ooh,
No.
Not I.
I think wait, do I? I
Are
don't.
they fluent in Celestial?
Or ogre? I can speak ogre.
Yeah, sorry.
No. Common is.
Common. Okay. Well, one of KIRKBY Mingal's advisors steps up to her and starts speaking in Orkan quietly to her, and she listens for a moment. She turns back to you after a long moment, and she says, "My advisor Ozubak tells me that such fiends have been put in the hands of our enemies. Wizards from afar meet with some of the Orkan tribes.
What do they meet for? What are they attempting to? Do you know why they're meeting with the others?
They have
I would
given
say
them
it's some matter of a coup, I would imagine.
offers of peace, they say. They've extended such offers to us. We have denied them.
Peace
What
is
do
a
they-
noble.
Yeah, I mean, what do they hope to gain by offering this hand of friendship to you?
They have, among our enemies, they have traded slaves. These Orkan slaves, they claim, they can transform them to dreaded Tanaruk.
I didn't quite catch that last word. Could you say that one more time?
Tanaruk.
Just one more time, sorry. Maybe a common translation would be helpful.
Ozubak, the advisor, turns to you now and speaks in common. They say, the Tanaruk is a fiend, a monster, kind of demon.
Mm-hmm.
It is summoned usually by the Orkan shamans, the blades of Ilneval and the eyes of Gromsh.
So,
And how have you reacted to this?
We have not reacted. We said no.
Well, they've acted without honor and they've attempted to murder us. Where's the nearest tribe?
I hoped you would ask this. She looks back at KIRKBY Mingal, and KIRKBY turns to you. And 1 second. I made notes, but can I find them? Ah, yes I can. They're in front of me on my paper instead of my text document. KIRKBY Mingal says, the Gut Urukars is the nearest tribe. They are of the clan they call Kigal Va'a. There are 4 tribes in the clan, but the Gut Urukars, they are led by one named Rakuba. He is said to have dealt with these foreign wizards.
so I'm to wrap my head around this completely. We have been subcontracted by the Red Ravens, who in turn were contracted through wizards to kill you.
Be the same ones, I suspect.
That's a mighty
Cowardly
roundabout
wizards.
way to get this done. Why do you suppose they just don't try and lay in with a frontal assault?
Well, if they promised peace to the other orcs, then they wouldn't want to be seen murdering the ones that disagree.
Interesting.
I do not
So-
know the answer. They have not come to fight war here. Not yet.
Should take
But
the
they
war to them.
have aided our allies by making the Tanarok. Perhaps you can go to their tribe land and see if the Tanarok has been completed.
And for this, we should destroy fiends wherever we can. We shouldn't suffer more of them in our world. Up to you two, though, if you just want to come. I'm going to go on a righteous rampage.
Well, I'm on board with helping you, Mr. Apples. You've endeared yourself to me a fair bit, and you done right by me. I'm
Forgot you're a
I'm a
cowboy.
bit worried about my standing with the Red Ravens at the moment. They, I was hired to do a job. I'm not saying I was hired to kill you or anything. I'm just saying I delivered the package, but obviously there was an ulterior motive here. Do you think they knew about this? Now, I don't like being taken for a fool and put on a fool's errand. So the more I think about it and verbalize this out loud, the more I kind of itching for a bit of revenge myself.
Well, Nithalis is part of the Red Ravens, an actual member. So
What do you think about this?
Well, I don't think it's something our organization would do. If anything, I think we were led astray. You know, the contact that gave us the package, it's likely coming from them. It's not. I would say we're as innocent as
And where did that orcish fellow who led us here? Where did he wander off to?
Brickle?
Yeah.
He is
He
resting.
around?
Summon Brickle Taka. And they head off and send some soldiers to go and grab him, and not long later he returns. He comes walking in under guard.
Was it the guy that we saw in the camp originally that gave us the box, or was that the?
he was the ranger
the
that
guy,
they gave us
yeah.
across the desert.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like the original guy that was there, right? There was
No.
another. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
So the original guy was another Red
Orville?
Raven as well.
Oh, they weren't Red Raven, were they? I thought they were.
He was a Red Raven.
Was
Or he
that-
said he
Yeah.
was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So we met
Was it-
him. He gave us the box and introduced us to the ranger, and then we went from there. So this guy's probably not complicit in this either, but he probably doesn't like being made a fool of as well.
Well, then the question is, do we go back and do we kick up a storm with the Red Ravens? Or do we send an errand their way? Do we send Brikutaka back to let them know what's happened?
That's a mighty fine idea. In the meantime, we might try and find some of these wizards, or maybe some of these other orcish tribes who cause this kerfuffle.
If we go to the Gat Urukas, we could find presumably a wizard there transforming them into the fiends. Destroy the fiends, capture the wizards, go from there.
Sounds like a plan to me.
You must be very careful. They will not take kindly to outsiders.
How large is
No.
this tribe?
A fair size.
Look around. How many people are in this tribe? How many
Bigger
orcs are
than
in
this tribe.
Bigger than this tribe.
How much bigger?
Much bigger.
Oh,
Much bigger. Much bigger, you say? Okay.
But they will have outposts in their lands.
Okay.
Perhaps the task is too hard for you.
No, don't put it like that. We can go under the guise of emissaries and perhaps sneak our way within the inner sanctum.
What if we just attack an outpost?
Perhaps we should pretend that our mission here was successful and send news of your demise.
I like this one.
But what can we take, and under what pretext could we, go and see this rival tribe to tell them of your predisposed disposition?
Well,
So
did
this
Brico-
this conversation breaks out in Orkan, which of course none of you understands. So you can continue talking amongst yourselves for a minute if you wish, while they talk to each other.
Would Breaker have gotten any sort of directions on what to do after the mission was finished?
As far as, well, you can ask him, and if you do, he simply says, I am to return to the Red Ravens.
Okay.
Okay, well... Wait, how do we get paid?
Well, we'll get paid when we head back to civilized lands. as it would be. So we do need to ensure that we don't meet our own ends.
It seems
in
to us
these.
that the Red Ravens have crossed you and us.
Well, perhaps, but I like to keep a professional relationship with most people, and this ain't my first time I've been betrayed.
Even if
probably
they've tried to
near the-
kill you.
Yeah, possibly the umpteenth time. I'm not the most popular fella around these parts.
Someone tries to kill me.
Good point. I'd like justice.
And I will put them down and flay them of their flesh. I will eat their heart and tongue, and devour their marrow from their bones.
KIRKBY Mingle brings up a good point. Should we go back and get revenge? I would like someone to not suffer.
But
To
suffer. Not suffer.
be responsible.
But suffer.
I think we don't understand
Be held
what actually
accountable for what
happened.
they've done to us.
We don't know who is accountable though.
So we just keep going until we just keep bashing heads until we find the one who did it.
And good old-fashioned vendetta. I quite like the idea of that as well. So we've got two paths in front of us. We can either head deeper into the heart of darkness, as it would be, and rub elbows with these orcish fellows, or head back to the more civilized lands and crack some skulls, as Mr. Apples put it. Now, these are your employers. How do you feel about the way they've treated you?
Well, I don't really understand, and I don't think we've got enough evidence to really shift the blame to anyone. So, I would like to know what's behind all of this.
Yep. All right. No. Good luck, KIRKBY Mingle, in your war against the wizards. I propose we go back and sort out who's done this to us.
I see.
Oh, before I go, I do just want to just say one thing. Your war chiefstress, and I pull out my longsword, which I have yet to use in this entire campaign. And I lay it at her feet and say, "You ever need an extra blade? You just give me a call. This one's yours, for a fee, of course, but gladly lay my sword at your feet."
How do you call you?
Yeah, that's what
She looks at you
he's on a roll.
carefully and she takes a step towards you, Sawtooth Sornel. And you see the oily muscles glistening in the candlelight, in the torchlight in the war tent.
I declare.
As she steps towards you, she takes off an armband from her arm. She says,
Now you have changed your mind. I was going to have you take this to declare my passing. No matter.
Oh well.
she
Just
slides
hold
it
that thought.
back
We might
onto
be
Can
able
we
to.
go have a nap?
Yeah, we might be able to sort this out. Perhaps we just need to keep things quiet for the moment. Perhaps.
How far away? How far away is Gat Urakas?
10 feet. Oh, Gat-Uratas, sorry, the town.
That's right.
I thought you were talking about Briku for a moment.
That's just
about
been watching this
Briku
entire time.
That was, yes, okay, not 10 feet. More like 20, 25 miles, something like that, to the nearest part of their territory.
Okay.
Their actual strongest stronghold would be a lot further than that.
Well, we have to ask them the question of what would this accomplish if we take this KIRKBY Mingle's armband and declare that she is dead. What does that accomplish in regards to Gat-Urakas?
Difficult to say. They will send raiders, no doubt, and we will put them down in an ambush.
Well, that seems perfect because we could spread word of your demise as we head backwards towards civilized lands, and that way you can be waiting for when they eventually do come raid. Now, it might not work of us leading the raid per se, but we can definitely set these things in motion, and you'll have us to thank.
You have never been to Ungor Ma'ak before, have you?
I may have passed through. I've lived a long life.
I see.
Now, is it subtropical or more temperate?
These lands are like deserts.
then no, not too fond of the deserts.
I see. You do not know much about the orcs of these lands, do you?
No.
No, spent more time around dwarves, halflings, elves. Not too fond of my elves, as it were.
Well, perhaps you will feast with us on this night, as you have done a brave thing.
I'm not one to turn down a beast.
Yeah.
No, am I?
And thank you for your compassion and understanding.
I do not know this word.
I just thumbs up.
Alright.
Compassion is when you stay your hand for a few seconds before striking the killing blow.
Showing mercy. What about mercy? Does she not mercy is?
Is that not weakness?
It's there is a strength in weakness. There is a strength in not striking the killing blow, you might say.
How is that?
Well,
Game,
when-
you're a half elf, is that right, or an elf?
And he's a high elf.
High elf. Okay, right.
Yeah. So when somebody lives the rest of their life knowing full well that you could have killed them, they diminish a little bit within the pecking order, so to speak, and they always know that you are their superior. Now, if you kill them, they'll never hold on to that memory. They'll be dead, you see.
Yes, they will be
But
dead.
if they live forever,
Defeated.
subservient to you. Well, that's a victory in itself.
Is this something that all you elves believe?
I'd like to say that this is a rather selfish version of the tenets of devotion. So yes and no.
You elves, your people believe that our empire, the Ungor Ma'ak, will raid them at any time, do they not?
Yeah, there are rumblings within the towns and the cities.
They know that it is impossible. The orcs are scattered peoples. Our empire stands on its last legs. Our emperor himself, he is known as Grotok Bukan, son of Angor Thalak. He is on his last legs. His sons now vie for control. Come back
No.
at the dinner horn and we will talk more. Go,
All right then.
Okay,
refresh
I'll take my
yourselves.
leave.
There shall be a yurt set aside for you.
Fantastic.
And
Lovely.
they do. They set
Like,
aside
go.
a yurt for you guys to refresh. There's water, there's yak's milk, some leftover spare ribs from unknown creature.
Going. Alright, well, while we're dining out, turn to the other two. So going back on this.
So you're in your
The
yurt
his-
now, yeah?
Yeah. The I don't know. Do I know the history of this whole thinking that the orcs are going to rampage? Where this theory came from?
Remind me
I
about
suppose it would
your
be a prophecy.
remind me about your class and race and background a little bit.
I probably don't know much because I'm a dark elf. So
Right.
drow elf, paladin, lives among the surface, attempting to join the Daughters of Twilight. Yeah,
Right.
worships the Morning Lord if he applies.
You can
still
make a
and stuff.
history check. I think that's fair and reasonable.
14.
14. Yeah, what you know is that the Elven Kingdom, Sidarhael to Larathion, that's the name of the whole Elven realm, is under the control of King Ivran Erithani. And Ivran took over about 100 years ago. And when he did, his brother died mysteriously. Well, mysteriously, he died defending himself against an Orkan warband that had come over the Highbrook Pass, trying to enter Highbrook from behind. And he and a bunch of his soldiers were slain. And that's when King Ivran took over. And since then, King Evran has made himself somewhat unpopular and has been banding about the idea that the orcs are about to invade at any time. At this point, however, you probably haven't seen much evidence of that so-called invasion happening. Not yet, anyway.
Wild speculation here, you two.
In fact, the evidence that you have suggests that the Orkan Empire is kind of what KIRKBY Mingal just described. It's crumbling, broken on its last legs.
And yet, so that while they seem broken, and now we've just heard word that the wizards are attempting to bring peace and let them transform some of their orcs into fiends. Could it not be that this is all a big conspiracy by the king to start a war, have the orcs rampage through so that he goes, haha, I was right, and then smashes them to pieces? Which would imply that he's in with the wizards as well.
Mr. Apples, how old are you?
That's a good question. I can't remember.
I'm just going to go and quickly powder my nose.
Yeah.
I am... I swear I had this written down somewhere.
You were quite old from what I remember, weren't you?
Yeah. How do I tell?
I don't know.
It'll be in your age if you put it in your description.
Description.
How old do you think Mr. Apples
251.
I put myself about 100 years older than you, I reckon. What's the full lifespan of an elf?
Well, I don't know. Wait, are you an elf or a half elf?
I'm a high elf.
High elf. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know.
But I'm well past middle age.
Like at least 700 years.
Yeah. Well, let's put me around like 350, 400. When you get a couple more notches on your centuries, you'll understand that the world exists as a perpetual war machine, and these things keep the inner machinations of any government working, toiling over, and ticking, and keeping the economy, as it were, moving. And so, any just and kind ruler actually wants there to be a perpetual war cycle because it's good for technological development, for agriculture and infrastructure.
Yeah, but what about the lives of the men lost?
Well, unfortunately, that's just
The villagers, the innocents who are just put in part of this magical war machine that's needed for society. This does not seem very honorable.
I'm just telling you how it is as a cog in this war machine myself. I've seen this dance done. Time is a flat circle, as some put it, and war will continue to rage, so you may as well just roll with the punches.
Greetings, Keza C. Welcome to Rollstream, and I
Hello.
see Charlie is taking care of you there, over in chat. Nice to have you. All right, guys.
I propose we destroy this war machine. And get to the bottom of this. We stop this conspiracy. We break up the orcs and let them stay disorganized and distraught.
So we're not going back to the Red Ravens?
At this point, what would vengeance accomplish?
It's more understanding of what actually happened. The clarity, isn't it?
We have been
Closure,
made
so to say.
to be fools as well, which you surely a man of devotion and integrity like yourself can't enjoy. You now forever be pinned as being a assassinator, as it were.
So you're saying my honor's in question now?
Or,
Well,
I think
I'm
it may be.
responsible. We are responsible for our actions and those consequences, whether or not we were ignorant of them.
So to speak. I mean, we have not assassinated anyone, I suppose, but
we attempted.
that too. Look, I'm happy to go on a quest for vengeance if needed, and I'm also happy to go and put down some orcish rebellion if that is the way it's going. But I'm happy to go and shove a wizard's casting rod where the sun don't shine if needed. But
Can I get you guys?
you just
to make,
tell me what you want to do, Mr. Apples.
Can I get some perception checks for the last sort of hour? Over the last hour of.
Are we indoors? We're indoors.
You're inside a
We're in a
yurt
tent.
presently.
Okay.
Yeah. You're in an Orkan
21.
yurt.
17.
It's made out of auroch hide. So we've got a 21, a 17, an 8 for somebody.
Me.
You. Okay, so you're clearly distracted, Nathalis. The other two, you hear a little bit of activity going on outside the yurt.
What kind of activity?
People moving things around, wagons being shifted around, that kind of thing.
Let's go and take a peek outside, shall we?
Orcs being handled and snorting and orcs moving stuff about. And when you pop out, you notice some of the you notice a new series of wagons have just arrived, like a caravan has just pulled in, and on the back of the caravan are these big wooden cages on the backs of the wagons, and you see prisoners in those wagons. Mostly orcs. Who got the highest?
I forgot about the prisoners.
21 there on something. Who was that? Wasn't Sawtooth?
Me.
That was you. Okay, so you notice that among the prisoners, there are orcs mostly, but there are a couple of humans, a couple of elves, and even a halfling.
And they're prisoners.
All right, well, that helped me make my decision, because look, I forgot about the prisoners and the fact that they had slaves. So my fists will clench, and I don't know. How much did we discover? How much the purchase of a slave was?
Oh, we did ask.
Did you?
We did ask, and we were going to ask in exchange for that box, which turned out to be a trap, that we might be able to free some of them.
Right.
But that didn't really go to plan.
The other thing that you will have noticed at this point, give me a second, is the currency here is different. They tend to use a different metal currency. They use Ungor tucks and rakam bits and oram pecks. The tacks are worth 5 silver, the rakam bits are worth 5 copper, and the pecks are worth 0.25 of a copper. And they are made of steel, iron, and tin, respectively.
Okay. I'm going to walk up to the slave caravan.
Alright, fair enough. Alright.
Can I
yes.
Can I do an insight on Lorian, just to kind of get a gist of if he's gonna do anything rash here?
Is he gonna make a gimbal check?
Well, I'm just let me roll my insight, so then maybe Tim can give us some information. So I got 13.
13.
I definitely noticed you clenching your fists.
Yeah, but alright. So no, you see me walk away, but I do still seem to have a look of control, and if anything, I look more authoritative now.
Okay. All right. It's calm my nerves that you were gonna do something rash.
Alright, so
No. It's not gimbal, okay?
I know, but you're a paladin.
Paladin.
And, Paladin. You're Aladdin.
I used to say
And,
Paladin when I was like 13 until I was about 16, I think.
And
Okay.
obviously you've talked a lot about the oath of devotion and your standing and what's just and right, and obviously this is
Not just. Alright. Yes.
yeah, exactly.
But it's a different place, so you gotta treat them with understanding. So alright, so do they stop me or anything as I get up to the cages, or am I good?
Okay, so you're just going to start walking up to the cages.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a couple of guards there, and one of them kind of questions, who the fuck is this guy, kind of thing, in Orkan. And you hear KIRKBY's name come up, and then you see a discussion is had, and one of the orcs, who clearly seems to be a higher rank than some of the others, points at you and your tent, and says something, and then the others kind of shrug and let you go. But as you go up to the cages, one of the orcs stands in front of you and shakes his head. Or her head, actually. Most of this...
Well, how far away am I from the cages?
20 feet.
That's shouting distance, I guess.
Could even be 10 feet.
Can I point at the humans and elves? They're not the orc slaves.
Now they're scattered amongst the orcs, by the way. They're not all in one cage.
Are they in a cage? Or
yes, they are.
They're in a cage, and so it's just a cage filled with humans, orc selves. Okay.
Yeah. Let's just be clear. There's 3 cages on this caravan. The final cage at the back has, each of the 3 cages has a human in it, One of them has the one at the front has an elf, and the one at the back has a halfling in it.
Okay. All right. Well, if he won't let me pass, as I'll say, do you speak common? Where's the translator?
Okay, so after a few moments of discussing translation, Ozabak, who's Kargi's advisor, appears somewhere next to you. He walks across the open, sandy floor of the quarry, because this campsite, by the way, is inside of a quarry. And he walks over to you. He says, "You have a problem."
Yes, I do, Ozabak. I can understand that amongst your culture, you may take slaves from other tribes, from other orcs, but can you please explain why there are humans and elves amongst them?
They have made incursions into our lands.
And so then you let them, would you not rebut them and let them leave?
Why would I do such a thing?
Did they act with aggression? Did they attack?
They stepped into our lands. That is aggression enough.
Did they fight back? Did they kill others?
He looks up at you and at your pointy ears for a moment, and he says,
"Not so long ago, my ancestors kept the ears of your kind and dined upon them. Things have changed since then. We
So
should, perhaps, make peace with the changes that have come."
I would have these elves and humans freed and brought back with us to civilization.
I see. I will talk to our leader.
he walks off.
Good.
The halfling in the
Relatively
back
well.
of the cage looks up at you.
Yeah, we'll just say you're a child. Shh. Humans and elves, but you look like a human, just a kid anyway.
Worry that our reception
Speak
may
up,
be
they-
a bit frosty from here on in.
At this point, I say, speak up. They don't speak common.
The halfling opens his mouth, and you see that his tongue has been cut out.
Ugh.
We...
Okay. Is it fresh?
Yeah, somewhat.
I don't know how magic works.
Within days, of freshness.
We need greater restoration if you want to restore body parts. Missing body parts.
So not even lesser.
Unless I want restoring your missing body parts.
That'll just make the tongue into a nub. You need to seek the healings of maybe the Daughters of Twilight or someone along those lines.
Well, that's good. We can take that. We can take that little one as well, and we can go get him cured, get his tongue back, and then they can tell us what happened. Or one of the people with. Do they all have tongue? Wait. Oh. All right. Are there any other humans or elves in that cage?
There is a human in that cage.
All right. I'll say, you human, open your mouth.
He opens his mouth.
Does he have a tongue?
Does he have a tongue? Yes.
Oh, good. So they don't do it to all their slaves. That one must just not shut up.
Yeah, probably particularly lippy, as halflings are
Those
sometimes.
Damn lippy halflings.
Mm.
There. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not allowed to get near the cage yet, am I? So that's that. Do I have it? I don't even think I have a pen and paper.
What's our exit strategy here, Mr. Apples? I mean, let's say these people are freed.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mighty long trek back to across the desert with a whole bunch of people in tow.
Yes, but that's something we'll just have to risk. And if half of them don't make it, then at least they will have died free.
That's very pragmatic of you. I respect that, and I think I can get on board.
Mm-hmm. And yes, this pretty much signs it up for us. I don't believe we should assist these people, these orcs. Let the wizards make peace with them.
Red Ravens, it is.
All right. So this is back in your campsite, in your yurt, yeah.
No, I was still
No,
standing
I
in
think
the
Are you
Flame
still
flame.
was
standing out there?
Oh,
And the
okay.
others have come out of the campsite, out of the yurt, then to come and talk to Leorin then.
Yep, yeah, I was there alongside him. I think
Okay.
we all were.
I
Alright.
didn't think what.
You see the wagons being moved around the camp. Prisoners get dragged out of the wagons. You see several orcs, all wearing a particular brand of armor and costume and war paint. There's about 6 of them. And they all look very stoic. Their hands are shackled together. They get taken from their cage and taken around the back of the camp.
Nudge.
Sawtooth, do you want to go sneak around? See what
well,
happens?
I would imagine they're likely to be executed if I were, and so can I roll some check to see the difference between their armor versus what the tribe were with?
Sure. Yep, you can make an investigation check.
Yep. 16?
16. Well, what you've noticed with this current tribe is that they have a combination of weapons and armor from various places. They don't seem to have a uniform per se. Whereas these 6 orcs are clearly wearing a uniform that is the same. In fact, you can make a history check, any of you that wish to.
No, I'm
No.
good.
No, I got a 4, so I don't know too much around
Okay,
the
shit.
tribes and the military styles of the orcs.
Yeah, that's fair enough. The only thing you can see, obviously, is they come from somewhere else and they have a uniform, so they are part of some enemy force, you assume.
right.
And then, not long after that, you hear screaming and groaning coming from around the back of the war tents and the war wagons around the corner in the quarry. It's kind of blocked off by a bit of a wall, a tall granite and chalk structure that juts out of the ground up against the back of the quarry.
Team, I think we are strangers in a strange land, and I think it may be best if we get to leaving as soon as possible.
Shortly
Agree.
thereafter,
After I've spoken with KIRKBY.
Shortly thereafter, the 6 orcs are displayed impaled on spikes.
Is this like where we're walking towards past the yurts where the slaves were?
This is in the middle of the camp now.
Okay, right.
Or actually, you know what? It's towards the gate of the camp, the front of the camp, on display for anybody coming to the front gates.
Charming.
The front entrance.
Mm.
It's very charming.
Trying to hold off my sickened face. Where is Bagtree? Where's my donkey?
Your donkey? Your donkey's around, probably by your,
Okay, good.
your yurt, I expect.
Knowing these people, they'd steal and eat my donkey.
Well, you know what? Make a perception check.
No.
No, just put the dice down.
Make a perception check.
I'm out in the sun now. Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
A 9.
14.
14. And Rothilian, Sawtooth,
24.
24. Okay, well,
Ooh, not 20.
two of the 3 of you notice that somebody's trying to milk your donkey. Some
See
orc,
ya, boy.
an orc child.
Sawtooth, can you go
Oh,
tell him?
oh.
Can you go tell him that's not milk?
Now,
You can have the chat. Have the chat with the
Yeah, right,
little
right.
boy.
Sawtooth walks over and you basically just hear him say, "Now, son, you want to be stopping that. Now, I know the donkey looks like he's having fun, but this is he did not give a consent for."
This orc child looks up at you, not understanding a word of what you're saying, and runs off.
I don't really want to roleplay any more of this conversation. So just
I think we
imagine
do.
Sawtooth is having this in the background while you're doing whatever you're doing.
Can you make
As
an
he's
make
trying
an
to-
intimidation check, Sawtooth, or a
Sure
persuasion,
thing.
whichever one you're using?
I'll go with persuasion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a flaccid 20.
Flaccid 20. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
the kid runs away.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. With an empty
I,
bucket.
I guess I do a wellness check on the donkey and just make sure he's doing all right.
Donkey seems
No,
to be
I
fine.
lead him back to our yurt and I I tie him up inside.
You tie him up inside the yurt.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think animals inside yurts and Orkan camps is fairly reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Okay.
grumbling to myself as it happens. Just friggin'
Fair enough.
savages and their savage ways, milking a donkey.
It's not as bad as what happened to the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
Alright,
Okay.
where is she? Go on, Kagi.
So you're looking for Kagi Mingal? Okay,
Yeah.
well, she is in the war tent. So you approach the war tent and the guards let you through. But they tell her that you're coming. They speak out in Orkan as you enter the camp into the war tent. At that point, there is a big table up on a dais next to or behind her throne chair, her chieftain's chair. And so some of the advisors standing around are looking at some sort of map or something. It seems to be a huge scroll made out of the skin of some beast, laid out. Oh, look, there's a kitty on Tim's screen.
Is there?
Where? Oh, right.
Oh, lovely.
Dark.
He's blind as a bat.
Is he?
Yeah, he gets around though. Anyway, he's got blind fighting. He knows
He's
what
got
he's
blind
doing.
fighting. Okay, for rats.
Oh, he's trying to get out.
He will get out. There's a hole in that windscreen.
He knows what he's doing. Can't be that
Mhm.
blind.
Knows his patterns.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so they're in a. Alright, so they're having a little war meeting. Alright,
Yep.
Okay. Well, as I walk in, can I use my divine sense to detect good or evil?
Detect good or evil.
As an
Okay.
action, you can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the Hello spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet.
Within 60 feet.
That is not behind total cover.
Okay. One of Kagi Mingal's advisors appears to be a fiend.
Which one?
One of the soldiers at the back. One of the lesser. You wouldn't have really even noticed them if this hadn't been a thing that you did.
A fiend, you say?
A fiend, yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is kind of a gimbal thing to do. Now.
You're not gimbal.
No, but you are
But I am a paladin.
a paladin.
Paladin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well then, I'm going to. How far? Where is he? Whereabouts is he? How many guards are in here right now? What are we dealing with?
There are about 10 guards around. There are about another 5 advisors up on the up behind the table or around the table, along with Kagi is there as well, of course.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll play it relatively cool for now. So I'll focus on the task at hand, and so I'd like to say, I don't know what the hell you call this. War Chief Kagi Mingo.
She turns to you.
We are still in debate of what we should do, what we will do, but I would ask, what would it take for you to free all the non-Orkan slaves that you've acquired in your camp?
You have asked me this, warrior from afar. Elf. I will make a deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
You have offered me your sword in combat. Yes?
Yes.
I will give you these slaves for free this time. But
Well,
to
okay
send warning to these people, they must not make their incursions into our lands.
Very well. And as one final gesture of goodwill, I'd like to assist you. Would you humor me and those in this tent?
She doesn't seem to really understand what you've
Okay.
said.
All right. So I'm going to. Could you bring your advisors forward, all of them?
What is this, elf?
I wish to expose a spy in your midst.
You have only been
traitor.
here several hours. How is this possible?
Through the light of my lord.
Sawtooth just looks embarrassed and cringes.
So please
Shuffles a
humor
little
me.
further
And so
away from
I'm
Lyra.
going to I'm going to start. So what I'll do is I'll create Zone of Truth. So I'll cast a Zone of Truth magical field, 15-foot radius, centered around, well, between me and KIRKBY Mingle.
All right.
I'd say bring them forward, and I may ask them a question. They must, bring me your translator, and they must answer truthfully whilst they stand in this field.
This is much that you ask of us, Leoran. Very
I would
well.
ask that you, yes, have faith in me.
The advisors seem to be a little bit put out by this when KIRKBY explains it to them in Orkan. And several of them kind of balk and they're like, "What?" talking in Orkan. This sort of it devolves into something of an argument.
I'll tell them to ease their minds. I will ask them only one question, and it will not put and it will not disclose any. How do I word this? I'll ask them only one question each. I'll just say that.
Very well. As you okay, so the first individual comes up to in front of you, next to what was his name? The advisor, Ozabak. He stands with his staff, and the first one of them comes up and stands next to him, and he looks at them, and he looks at you.
Oh, so first of all, they all have to do. So anyone who enters has to do a charisma saving throw of 14.
Right.
Actually, on a failed save, they have to. They can't do a deliberate lie.
Okay, so the first
well.
individual, Brakan, apparently, he saved with a 19.
Okay, well, I have to ask him the question anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll ask each of them in turn. Are you a fiend?
Do you know who fails?
He does.
No, well, I
actually.
don't know. Actually,
Oh,
hang
okay.
on.
You do. You do.
You know whether each creature has succeeds or fails on the
Yeah.
saving.
Ah,
Yes,
okay,
okay, I
cool,
do.
cool.
Okay, so yes, so
you
I
can
know
do
this
some
one.
real I only tell lies, I only tell the truth kind of deal with this. I failed, by the way, just so you know as well.
Oh, do we all have to do it with charisma?
Anyone
Yeah,
who's standing in it,
technically,
yeah.
Technically,
Am I
you
in
do.
it? I'm gonna show I am.
What is this impetuous question? I will not answer this. Am I a fiend?
Okay, please go stand over here, and I'll point in a direction. And are there more guards?
There are 10 guards.
Oh, good. There's plenty of guards. Okay.
He moves over to the wall.
All right,
where
and I'll
you
just
pointed to.
I'll just ignore their outbursts and their little cries. I'll just simply ask them the question, have them move on.
This is Dokkan.
Dokkan steps up into your little zone of truth. He makes a saving throw. Rolls an 8.
Oh, good. Dokkan, are you a fiend?
Again looks at you.
You insult me, elf! Why do you come here?
He looks over at KIRKBY.
How dare they?
He starts talking in
Move on.
Orkan. The orcs are getting pretty pissy at this point, and KIRKBY is...
He didn't give you a yes or a no, by the way.
It's okay, because yeah, but I say shh.
Jaglam steps up.
Okay, no, at this point, if they're starting to get pissy and everything, I will point to the one I want to speak to, the one that I know is a fiend.
Okay.
And hey, you next.
All right.
And bring him forward.
As you point at him, he turns away, throws his cloak over his shoulder, and vanishes into the darkness. Turning
That's
into a shadow,
suspicious.
he slips under the wall of the tent.
Okay, well, I'll just...
Everybody
spell
turns
is-
around, surprised. Not everybody saw it happen. You guys can make perception checks to see if you saw it happen. I know Tim did see it happen because he did the thing, but
Staring at him.
yeah.
A 6.
A 6. Okay, so you did not see that happen. Sadly.
Hang on, sorry. 16 for myself.
So, Sawtooth, you will have seen it. Okay, cool. All right. Well, the orcs descend back into another argument in Orkan. And
Well, can I shout, sound the, after him, basically. Sound the alert after him,
right. And
something.
at that point, a number of soldiers start heading for the front. But instead, KIRKBY strides over to the back of the tent and just cuts it open, and rips it open. And her guards start pouring out, and they start looking around, and they begin searching the camp. They go to his quarters first of all. They discover that his quarters have been ransacked and stuff is gone. Very quickly, he must have taken whatever he had and escaped. That seems to have been the general gist of it.
Okay. Alright, well then when things die down, I'll apologize for the bluntness of my actions.
KIRKBY summons you back to her again, this time in her private quarters afterwards. Do you all come, or just Leorin?
You should all come.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, I didn't see
Greetings,
anything.
adventurers! Vancouver by Night is with us. Thank you, Vancouver. Nice to have you with us. Meet the Frostmoor Crows, playing their alternate characters today. These are actually not the Crows. These are the players from the Crows. Sans one person who is Phil, and he's not here, so we're doing an alt campaign storyline with alt characters.
Phil is busy getting married
He is
over the next couple of weeks.
I believe he is getting married.
Very long
That really blew up,
ceremony.
didn't it?
Yeah.
That escalated quickly. Okay, so the orc slash fiend has disappeared, along with many
Damn it,
belongings
I should-
and things.
Should have gone with my first instinct, which was to walk up and divine smite him. Would have ended better.
Yeah, you kind of played your hand and showed it to what was going on.
Mad Girl Charlie was saying, "Oh man, that would have worked well with a ranger's hunter's mark."
Would have.
Oh.
Anyway,
what are you gonna do?
the rangers are never useful until you suddenly,
Until they're useful.
until all of a sudden you just every time you don't have one, you need one.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Like
Hi,
rubber
KIRKBY.
bands. Like paper clips.
Do we
and
know what
rubber
kind of
bands.
fiend it was?
The fiend that he was? No, you don't know.
I think it just says you just know it's a fiend. It doesn't say what type.
Yep.
Oh no, you do know the type. You know the types. Oh wait, no, I know that it's a fiend. I know it.
Yep.
Like the sub.
You know
I
that
know
category
whether
of
it's a
it.
fiend or a fae.
I know it's not
or
undead.
Right.
Yeah, I know it's not a vampire.
Right.
Oh, somebody, by the way, Mad Girl Charlie has redeemed inspiration for a player character. Charlie, do you have a person in mind for that? Or do we just give it to the first random person? Well, I'll wait for you to come back to us on that. Meanwhile...
Ah, there's so many things I
Give it
could have
to
done
apples
against
for
that
us.
bastard.
Whoever gets the next failure, that's who gets it.
Next failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had nothing but failed rolls. A 9, 5, 6.
Alright, so what are you going to do? You're in the camp, you're in the back
Oh,
in
we're
the-
talking.
Waiting for KIRKBY Mingle, we've got pulled into her
Right.
tent
Right.
to discuss
That's
things.
right. Okay, so brought into her tent, she comes in after a little while with a bodyguard, another orc woman warrior, who stands just behind her and just keeps an eye on things. She just has a spear she leans on, and she's got a knife at her side and a bit of a headdress made of red feathers and some war paint. And she just stands behind KIRKBY Mingal. She says, "Now we are alone." Besides the bodyguard. of
That's
course.
got.
This is as alone as she gets. "Where are you all from?"
Bangate? Wait, am I?
Are you? I don't know. Are you from Bangate? Are you from Bangate?
I think I'm from.
I didn't write
Where's
it.
it? Highbrook. What's the main high? Yeah.
That would make sense.
I'm from Bangate, yeah.
Leoran is probably from Highbrook too. If he's in High
Yep.
Elf, he would be.
I'm happy with that. I'm a dark
Oh,
elf.
you're a dark
He's
elf.
Drow.
Oh,
I'm,
right,
Yeah, so-
right, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say at this stage I don't have a home anymore.
Right, that would make
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. You once came from the city of Abnog-gur.
Look, adding it in now.
Abnog-gur. I'm going to write it in the stream chat.
Thank you.
Yep, that's the Drow capital, i.e. the Sidarhael version of Menzeberanzan.
Ah.
Right. Okay, so she says to you, Charlie, you're dead. She says to you,
So, what is your intention now? Will you stay? Will you fight for the orcs? Will you fight for us against the Ungor Ma'ak? I tell you my plan.
Well, I think some of my party have a few reservations on working for someone who engages in things which we might look down upon as
That is your weakness. That is how the Orkan Empire will win.
When what?
Everything.
Well, you may see compassion and honor as weaknesses, but we find them as strengths from our culture, and we find petty theft of another's life to be a weakness.
I have
Or-
seen your ways are different to ours, and I have been shown this mercy once before by one of your kind. It was confusing to me, but I
We're
have
not
been
here-
considering what you said.
And that's good. And we're not here to debate and change your ways, but it's not something that we can, or that I can get behind and support.
And if we change our ways, you will support us?
Yes. Without question.
Without question.
I mean,
With some questions.
well, look, I'm a hired sword, as it were. So if you're paying me and you're telling me who you want removed from this plane, then I'll most likely do it. But if you're just asking me to hitch to your wagon, I'm afraid my price is a little bit steeper than zero, as it were.
Normally we execute mercenaries.
Then I'll be showing myself out
Well,
of this situation.
Okay, I hope that showing that you would not take on any more new advisors at this time until I have returned. But at this stage, we have to take our people back, warn them not to trespass on your lands again, and then return.
You say the Red Ravens sent you here.
Yes.
Yes.
They say they are impartial, but they're not. They have sent assassins to kill me. You unwittingly came here to bring my death, with your box and your fiend within.
What
That's-
reason would they have to attack your tribe?
Many reasons.
Can you name
Our
some?
tribe, they call us rebels. We have broken from the Ungor Ma'ak Empire. We raid their lands and their tribes, their strongholds. We shall be free of Ungor Ma'ak and its patriarchy.
I don't see why the Red Ravens would care about that.
They've been paid.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
Thus proving that they are truly impartial.
Yeah, they're sadists.
Sorry. I don't say that.
Who has paid them? Who is their client?
We don't
Yeah,
know.
so our problem would not be with the Red Ravens, it'll be whoever's paying them.
Who has sent this fiend to us?
Well, if you'd like us to investigate that, then we can definitely do that. But once again, we I speak out of turn. I don't work for free.
They say the wizards that have infiltrated our empire are enemies, have many enemies among the humans and the elves. Is that true?
If you're speaking of the Sidarhael, then they have been ruffling feathers for a few years now. Yes.
I do not know their names for sure. Only they are wizards from the south.
That would fit the description of the Sidarhael on board.
Sidarhael.
She
Oh,
turns to the... Yeah?
Well, we don't know that it's the Sidarhael envoy. Sawtooth.
Wizards from the south.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Hang on. All right. Hang on. I'm gonna roll a history. Yeah,
There's not that many wizards, are there?
from the south.
It's probably them.
15.
Yeah, you could pretty much say that would be a fair assumption.
Yeah.
I like to think that Sawtooth has as many years in mercenarying. It's probably he's worked for and against many people. This time he's just a real turncoat.
All right. Well, how long can KIRKBY Mingle will survive here, or do you have? What we'd like to do, KIRKBY, is return our people, the slaves that you've captured, to our domain. Discover who has sent us on this errand and seek rectification and justice, and then return to you. And what I would propose is, would you have goods available for trade? That way we could take these back with us, trade them for money in our kingdom, and that would appease Sawtooth.
We are poor,
I will hire Sawtooth.
and we have few resources. We have little food and little else to keep us. Soon we shall be moving our camp.
Okay.
We will be heading...
What are your plans for
East.
survival then?
We shall cross the desert until we find the edge of Maglubiet's maze. The
Plan to
Ungor
go
Ma'ak
towards-
orcs will not follow us there.
But there's a good reason they wouldn't follow you there. If you have no supplies now, what makes you think you'd find any in a mythologically rifted place with dragons?
We seek cover.
Would you have a map so we can find you at Maglubiet's maze?
Very well.
She calls out for her advisor, Ozabak, and he comes in.
Yes, KIRKBY.
And she tells him to give you a map to the thingy, blah blah blah, to the new campsite. Speaking in Orkan, so you don't understand any of that. And then he draws out a map. It takes about an hour on a large piece of auroch hide that has been cured for such purposes. Rolls it up into a scroll and binds it and gives it to you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, that being said, just when she said before that she'd give me the slaves, did she mean she'd free them now or when we come back?
She'll free them now.
That's sick. Okay, great.
All of them?
Only the
All
only
of the
human,
non-orc
elven,
ones.
and
Oh, true,
halfling
okay.
ones.
Lovely. All right, well then, yeah. With her leave, I hope that we've been of assistance in rooting out her spy at least.
Right.
And did that spy know her plan?
Do you ask her that?
Yes.
He may well do, yes.
Did he have a location?
I do not
Location that
think
you-
he will find the location by himself. He does not have the map that we have given you.
Liren, how many times a day can you do that hocus pocus where you see the unnatural?
3 more. Four total per person before I need rest.
do you think perhaps I've grown so fond of your tribe and your war party since I've been here? Do you think maybe you could gather everyone up to see us off before we go? It's just I'm a sentimental kind of man, and you're all such nice people. You've really grown a place in my heart. I'd just like to say goodbye to everyone one last time.
She looks over at you, Leoran, and she says,
Your friend, your companion. He is serious.
We have an emotion called sentiment. It's, for the weak. Say.
she smirks when you say that. And she pats you on the shoulder, Leoran.
Good.
She gives you this powerful shoulder squeeze.
Ooh. Ow.
Ooh.
No, it's fine. I've got armor.
You got armor.
Suck it.
Right, she
Yeah.
crushes your pauldron. No, I'm just kidding.
Shit.
Okay.
Alright, cool. Well then, yeah, does she acquiesce to the request?
Yes, so you guys are led back out of the war tent, out into the main campsite, and you can hear people being punished over there, and you can hear training going on over there, and cows and yaks and things getting milked and butchered and stuff going on around the place. People coming and going. In fact, you can make a perception check too.
Perception.
Oh shit, just
17.
Hang on.
Oh, plus a 20.
6.
17, 16, and a
6 for me.
20.
Just 6.
Okay,
I'm at
so
disadvantage.
Laren probably doesn't notice, but everybody else will notice that 2 new prisoners have been brought into the camp, or you didn't notice them before, one or the other, you're not sure. But in any case, you see that they have now seemed to have acquired several large, giant black bats, and there seem to be some new appendages hanging on the skewers, on the stakes, on the impaled at the gates, and they look like red fangs of Shargas.
Okay, so they're primarily surviving just on raiding people or attacking other groups.
Pretty much.
Did they eat the bats?
They don't. They keep the bats.
Oh, good.
What do they do with them?
They fly.
Ride them. Yeah.
Oh.
How many people can we see? Like, do we get a good vantage of pretty much most of the camp?
It's
Most
only
of-
60-foot range.
Okay.
Right,
Doing it your
actually,
dark
makes sense.
vision at night time.
No, the divine sense.
The divine sense. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can see most of the camp. I mean, at this point, it is going on towards the very late end of afternoon and now night. So it is becoming dark. The campsite itself is there's kind of like 3 main areas set in 3 different kind of alcoves in the back of the quarry. They kind of look in on each other, but there are places where you can be where you can't see into each of the other 2 quarries, if that makes sense. And there are
Right.
places where you can.
What we do then is like focus on the main. Like, if we can walk through camp, then,
Yeah.
and I'll focus on like the main areas of with the most heavily populated areas.
Right.
And especially like priority is I want to make sure that none of the slaves are demons or
Right.
anything weird. So
Right.
so I'll just go through and I will use divine sense the last 3 times. So I'll check all the slaves.
Okay.
Then I'll go through and check the 2 other locations of high population.
All right. You are pretty convinced that there's no more fiends amongst them.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Good.
And as you move around the Orkan quarry, you're basically, you're looking at yurts, palisades, ditches, improvised walls, impaled enemies, lots of flies buzzing around. The flapping of tents and, and materials. Horses, aurochs, goats. There's a training area, obviously cages. The war tent, the war wagons. You've come to realize where the armory is. There seems to be a watering hole at the back of one of the quarries, and people are bringing water out from the rear of the quarry, in buckets or pans or whatever they can carry, even skins. Yeah, and they seem to be setting up for some kind of feast in the war tent. So time passes, and eventually the feast horn will blow, and everybody who's anybody will go to the war tent to feast.
Alright, do we stick around for the feast, have a long rest, and then take off in the morning? Or oh wait, no, it's good to travel at night.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should just skedaddle now and make a.
Have we taken a long rest since the last fight? We did, hadn't we?
Unfortunately, my
No, I don't think we did.
character sheet has all been reset because of when I played at Questbook. So.
I'm out of spell. Pretty well out of spell slots. So no, I don't think we have rested.
Yeah,
because
I'm
it
not
was
full health.
Yeah, because we fought and then. But you're at full health, or you're not at full health?
I'm not at full health.
Yeah, we're not. No, we haven't rested.
Well, I'm more than happy for you to have already had a short rest, but if you want to take a long rest, you can now. If you want.
Really good opportunity to do so.
Yeah. Okay. What's
Sure
the
you don't want
rush?
to? Well, I don't know. Like, I think while they're feasting, it might just be a good chance to go with the slaves and kind of do an Irish goodbye. Yeah, just
What is an Irish goodbye?
It's when you leave without saying goodbye to anyone.
Oh, it's like smoke bombing. Okay.
Smoke bombing?
Yeah, you smoke bomb. You just no. Okay. Don't.
Less racially charged way of saying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Irish aren't a race.
What do you have against the Irish?
Not in my eyes.
Irish are all cowards. They don't say goodbye. All right.
You guys are terrible.
They're a group, and I hold no discrimination against them.
Right. Okay. So, the feast occurs. You guys go to the feast?
Yeah, I'm going to the feast.
All right.
We're gonna need food. I mean, this trek's gonna suck enough with a bunch of slaves and very little supplies.
All right. Well, while we're at the feast, what I will do is I will discreetly load my my coat pockets with scraps of meat and things that look like they'll carry or travel well.
All right.
I'm sure I told you that. Yeah.
While you're doing that, can you make a stealth check to do that, please?
Yeah, sure thing.
That's why I'm not doing it.
Why not?
Yeah.
You're
Ooh,
a paladin,
18.
Tim.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm not stealing. I'll eat what I clean my plate.
Stealing.
I have disadvantage on stealth checks, so I got a 9.
A 9. Oh dear. Okay.
Oh, I see 11.
And don't forget.
Was it?
9 plus 2.
Oh,
9 plus 2.
Sorry.
Charlie says, "Don't forget the inspiration."
That's fine. I'll take it. Take it as it is. I like to think that I'm. I do this a lot, but I'm not very good at doing it.
I don't think they'd care too much.
Yeah.
Well, as you're pilfering food and putting it in your bag, Sawtooth.
Yeah.
An Orkan hand claps down on your wrist, and you turn and look up, and realize that Ozabak is standing next to you, and he leans into you and he says,
"This is not the place for a raid."
Well, I wasn't so much raiding as I got a real hankering for foreign food as it is, and there's something about the complete lack of spice and salt and the dryness and just aridness of this meat that really reminds me of my mama Sawtooth's home cooking. So it was just a little bit of my lesser nature, just wanting to be greedy. I'm so sorry. I just back away, reach another.
As you're backing away, you realize that he's still got your wrist in his hand, and he's clamping it quite hard. He says,
"You will journey soon, yes?"
That's right. We're hoping to leave, I guess, right before dawn, I would imagine.
You not travel nighttime?
Well, my compatriots prefer to, but I'm thinking that the previous 3 days of travel has been quite worrisome for us, and so we need to rest a little bit.
Yes, you must rest. He looks down
Can you
to
let
your
go of my
pocket.
hand now,
He looks down to
please?
your pocket, holding your hand. He says, I will make sure that you are well supplied when you leave. Come to me. You do not need to steal.
Well, thank you. That's very kind.
If you do it again, they will take your hand.
I look down at my hand, and it's like, duly noted. I thank you for not taking my hand, and I hope we can keep this little indiscretion just between yourself and myself.
Guests.
Me being Lear and Apples.
He lets go of your hand, and he just says, you are our guests.
Thank you. I'll just be going. And do remember, Lear and Apples is my name.
He looks at you. Why are you saying the name of your friend?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm just getting tea. I'm still here.
You are
really
very
drunk.
contrite.
I have had a little too much ale.
Tell me, Sawtooth Sono,
Yes.
how is it that your peoples have managed to stay alive all these centuries? You are so whimsical. Out
Well, that's
here, one would die with such an attitude.
It's a very interesting question that you asked me. You see, when I was a much younger elf, first getting into the mercenary work, I suffered what can be described as an extremely traumatic brain injury, which since then has altered my personality in that I cannot not act when I want to, and I forget about the lifespan that I lead. I got no patience is the short way of saying it. But
Are you
know,
brave? Are you a brave warrior?
I think perhaps more foolish is the way, and lucky.
Do you fear death?
Well, I mean, I guess not. I guess I just sometimes just act.
This is the fool's way.
Well, that's old Sawtooth for you. I am who I am.
I see. Well. Good. He pats you on the shoulder.
Good.
He walks off.
Wipes some sweat from his brow.
I like to think that Leora is just sitting next to him.
Okay.
Quietly.
Food in his mouth. Yep.
Ozabak leaves the tent.
Are there fights at the feast?
Oh yeah, there's okay. So the feast, entertainment, arm wrestling,
Yes.
a certain amount of wrestling on the floor out, away from the table. There's an area for this. There is much drinking and much bashing of tables and making of noise and a lot of Orkan stories, and you sit there as various orcs make their reports too. Different Orkan tribes people come in from different locations and make their reports to the council and to KIRKBY Mingal and her war leaders. All in Orkan, so you don't really know what's going on, but you get the impression they've had some victories, and that is apparently good.
Good.
And eventually the feast sort of comes to a close. They do introduce you to everyone, and you get some strange looks from a lot of orcs. In fact, you even get a little bit of back chat delivered back to KIRKBY, who then puts it down, and she's like, no, don't fucking talk to me about these people. They're here, they did a thing, you shut up.
Alright, can I arm wrestle people? Then try to
You want to arm wrestle an orc?
Yeah, I've got to get involved with them. Maybe then they'll be less shitty.
Maybe they'll be less shitty. Okay, well, how about we do a athletics check then. You sit down at a table with one of the orcs, and Ozabak has arranged this for you. If you win, they will give you 20 tack, and if you lose, you'll give them a gold.
20 tack!
Yeah.
Sick, okay.
What
happens if I lose?
He loses.
And if you lose, you give the equivalent of 20 tack in gold or silver.
Okay.
How much is that?
It was 5 silver per tack.
Yeah. So 20 times 5 is 100.
So 20 gold.
So
Jesus!
20 gold?
Oh, that's a bit.
Oh wait, sorry, 20 times 5 is... Yeah, sorry, it's 100,
No,
sorry,
it's
10 gold. What am I talking about?
It's 5 gold.
Oh.
Divided by.
It's 10 silver per gold.
Yep.
And so we're saying 5 silver per of this,
Per
so that's
tack.
50, so it's 100 silver if it's 20 tack. And 100 silver is divided by 10 is 10 gold.
Okay, 10 gold. That sounds right.
Yeah, I just talked myself into more debt.
Alright, so talked yourself into more debt, and now you can make an athletics check.
Just trying to see, do I have any ways I can cheat?
Would you cheat?
I've rolled.
It's, well, the thing
Would
with
you gamble
cheat,
in the
it's
first
not-
place?
Honesty, it says not cheating, but if my god happens to help me, well then that's it. So, fine, no athletics. Here we go.
Dear Lord, please help me win this arm wrestle.
13.
Unnatural 20.
Damn it.
So your wrist slams down on the coarse wooden table, bruising it a little bit. I won't give you any damage, even though I'm inclined to.
Best of 3.
Best of 3, okay, very good.
15.
15. Oh, natural 1.
Alright, what comes down to this?
This warrior steps up, stands up, kicks his chair back as this happens. You cheat! He calls out in Orkan, and one of the others translates. Ozabak looks at you. Are you cheating? Did you
No,
drink
I'm an honorable paladin.
Did you drink a potion?
No, of course not. He's weak.
They start looking around at your cups and things, looking to see if you have something.
And again,
The table was slippery, he translates. There was ale on the edge. Again.
one more. Yep, again.
All right, one more. Okay, and here we go. Oh, natural 4.
Oh, good.
7.
13.
So
So it's a struggle.
It's a struggle, but you actually win a fucking
20 tax.
20 tax. Okay, and they are indeed iron pieces.
Awesome. So I got some pieces of metal.
Oh, sorry, steel pieces.
Steel. Alright, that's fine.
Very good.
Yep. Well, that seems like it had the opposite effect.
Right.
Alright, that's it. Eat, drink, be merry for the night.
Eat, drink, be
What are you up
merry.
to, Nathalie?
I don't know. I'm somewhere.
So,
You're
Leoran...
introvert standing in the corner.
Yeah, basically.
Leoran, you do manage to make a bit of a name for yourself with your arm wrestle competition there. And the orc that you beat, having after his initial fit at losing, she actually, she takes off her heavy bear cloak and gives it to you.
Oh, that's very generous. That sounds like it'll be very hot in the desert.
Not at night time.
Oh, great. That's very kind of her. I give her back her 20 tax in exchange for it.
She thinks
Say
that's
it's fair
pretty-
trade.
More than fair. Okay, there's a little bit of translation that goes on, but yep, cool.
Done.
All right.
Bear cloak.
Bear cloak. A bear cloak, indeed. It's a cloak, and it's bear.
How are there bears out here? No, it's fine. I'm not questioning it.
Bears are in the mountains. They came from afar. So,
So, is this would this happen to be a cloak of invisibility, but in the shape of a bear? No, fine.
you're funny, Tim. You're funny.
Okay, there is a
Protection.
bear that a bear that lives in the Gobi Desert. So there are desert bears.
Desert bears. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
See? That was fast. James is onto it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
now googling too.
Ryan.
KIRKBY bear.
So you've won your bear cloak. You feast, you drink, you are merry. You can each make a Constitution saving throw if you were drinking Orkan, the rancid Orkan juice they have.
4.
Okay, Sornel, you're now.
Unnatural 20.
11.
Oh, sorry, Leoran, you're clearly very sick and not well, so you are suffering from the poison condition until the next morning. Rothilian, Sawtooth, unnatural 20, so you're fine. And Nithiles, if you're drinking, you're not feeling the best. You're feeling a bit peaky, a bit nauseated. Yeah. It's pretty grotty, that stuff, and it leaves you with a nasty hangover. Except for Sornel, who apparently is able to digest and metabolize it.
He's used to long marches and eating like soiled and rancid off things, and I spend the night lecturing children about how I once wrestled a cockatrice with my bare hands.
I once wrestled a cockatrice with my bare hands.
That's right. Exactly. That's his accent as well.
Right. Okay. So,
Does the accent change when he's drunk? Like all of a sudden he's less of a cowboy.
but if his accent changed when he was drunk, wouldn't his accent always be the same?
Hang on, now I'm lost.
Well,
What do you mean?
He's got alcoholism.
I'm implying that he's always drunk.
Oh, right, sorry.
You see.
Should have got.
Should have got that one. That was
Just
that was
like
low-hanging fruit, and you missed it.
nothing.
Okay, all right. So you guys go back to your camp tent, your yurt after the feast, after the wrestling and all of the other activities have gone on. You can say that you know the names of some of the orcs by now, and you've got like rudimentary. I wouldn't go so far as to say friendships, but
Can one of them be called Gobby Bear?
no.
No.
But I can give you a big pile of orc names.
No, that's fine. We'll come back to it if we ever need
I'm
it.
not
I
gonna
mean,
remember
when we come back, maybe we'll, go. Oh, it's you, Gobby.
them.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to create an NPC called Gobak. Gobak.
Yeah,
Gobrak. That'll do. Or Gobraka. There you go. Even better.
Oh,
You
that's
can
perfect.
You can be your Gobby. All right. Okay. So eventually you take a long rest
Yes.
Yep.
and you sleep till the
All
early
my
hours
stuff.
of the morning.
Cool.
And eventually you start waking up around, 3 in the morning. I'm gonna assume something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I gotta say I'm still poisoned then.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty ill, Leoran.
Then yeah, well, we can, I don't know, wake up one of the advisors and get all of our slaves ready to go.
Okay, so the slaves that you've discussed are taken out of their cages and what have you. They're brought to your location, to your tent, and then they're chained to a post outside the tent until you are ready to leave, basically. And they're basically in a chain gang.
I like that.
Chained
We should
to
keep
each
them
other.
chained up.
Yeah.
No, we shouldn't keep them chained.
Yeah, it's a little humiliating, but I think once we're out of our shot of the orcs, maybe good 2 hours, we should probably take the chains off.
Alright, let's do that.
It seems a little dehumanizing.
What do we do for food?
Well, I happened to make good friends with an orc last night who said that he would supply us with some rations and whatnot before we left.
Okay, cool. Well then, can we
Promised he'd name his firstborn after me as well. He was quite smitten with me, listening to my war stories all night.
Sounds great.
Mm.
You gotta come back and visit the kid.
Depends if we come back here. In my journeys, I might be passing through here, but
Probably a lot of sawtooths out there now.
definitely. Anyway, What was the name of that young orcish?
Okubaz? I think he's, I don't know. Russ? Was
the,
it the-
the advisor?
Yeah.
The one who chastised me for stealing.
Ozabak.
Ozabak, yeah. So
nice.
where I guess we see him before we leave.
Yeah, so he will come over to you. He probably is the one that comes to you with the slaves, in fact, with a couple of other soldiers that actually do the dirty work of chaining and unchaining and moving and prodding and all that stuff. He just walks along the side, issuing orders and overseeing the process. Incidentally, I probably might have mentioned Ozabak only has one eye.
Oh.
Should have
Eyes
mentioned
back.
that earlier. Yeah.
I bet he wishes he had his eyes back. Sorry. Ha! Alright, anyway. Cool,
Alright.
so he helps us. We get food.
Yep. So
We're a bug, true.
you are ready to leave now, is that yes?
We're ready to make our trek. Is Riku Taka still here?
Briku, he is here now.
Good. He can come with us.
Very well, I
Lead
will
us
have
back.
him brought to you. So Briku Utaka joins your little gang. Alright, cool.
Lovely. And then we won't unshackle them yet. We'll go for a 2-hour march and then we'll unshackle them and well, as we go, we'll talk to them, I guess, and find out if any of them are actually dangerous and should be in captivity, or if they're just mercenaries or slaves or whatever the hell happened to them.
How many do we have?
Yeah, how many? Yeah.
How many are there? Well, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, it's not many. Oh, I was
Yeah,
expecting
okay.
like 40.
A
Oh, that's fine.
halfling, a couple of humans, and a couple of elves.
Yep.
Great.
Their
Alright,
names
sweet.
are Orderath, Balon, Festus, Solanus, Tobal, Vita, and Lunara.
Festus. a good name.
Festus.
That's a good one.
Mm.
Alright,
I call
slaves.
him
Festus is a human. Yeah.
Well, ask the other ones what happened to the little boy's tongue.
The girl, Lunara, leans forward. She says, well, they took it, didn't they?
Or
Talk too
they
much, wouldn't shut up. And
Oh,
where are you?
tragic.
And where are you taking us now, then?
Back to civilization.
So we're heading towards the edge of the dwarven settlement.
She,
I mean, where did we get conscripted by the Red Ravens?
By the Red
What's
Ravens?
City, town. Was it Vangate?
Yeah, might as well have been Vangate. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll tell them we're taking them to Vangate.
I mean,
Well,
you have to go all the way through the Elven territories to get to Vangate, just to be clear.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
so the area that we came in through was like a dwarven city.
yeah,
on the
you
border
came
of
through
the-
a dwarven tunnel, a secret
That's right.
dwarven passage that took you through the Banakayan mountain ranges.
And that was and we entered through like the Moonbrook territory, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So I guess we'll go through the tunnel and back towards Moonbrook land,
All right.
and
so
then we'll
you're gonna head that way.
yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to follow my compassion here and say, punish those who threaten them, show mercy to your foes, but tempered with wisdom. So I would like to, as we're going, or at some point stop, and before we release them, I'd like to do a zone of truth questioning on all of them,
Okay.
just to make sure we don't have any actual criminals in our midst.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna make you roll checks for this, but I will go so far as to say that you've got a mixed bag. None of these people are fucking saints, right? I mean, they've all been captured as slaves in Orkan territory somehow. I think after you start to investigate, you realize that some of them were traded to the orcs by other humans.
Oh, okay. So long-term slaves. The hell do they trade them for? They don't have anything. We've established they have nothing. Oh, maybe they traded for orc slaves. What did I want to do?
Maybe they use them as bartering chips to not be raided.
You know
Any-
that they were traded in the far north in Kobandur.
Well, petty thefts and shit I'd excuse. Any murderers?
Any murderers? You don't know if there's any murderers. Orderath looks like he is something of a soldier. He's an elf. One of his ears is missing.
Oh god, they ate his ear.
Balon is a human. Festus is a human. Solanus is an elf. Tobol is the halfling. Vita is a human, and Lunara is a half-elf girl.
Okay. Alright, well, if none of them have done anything truly awful.
Well, you don't know with the halfling because he can't speak.
Oh, shit.
Could
Good
be the
point.
most vile and evil halfling in the whole world.
Could be.
And to be fair, halflings in Sidarhael are a little bit kind of creepy.
Mm.
Mm.
You know.
Well, he can stay. He can be free too.
Okay, so you free all of them. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Unshackle them, and what do you do with the chains?
Leave them.
Yeah, just drop them.
How
Maybe
much can you?
cover them.
How much can you sell shackles for?
How much can you sell them for?
Wow. Manacles are worth 2 gold. Standard
Yeah.
good manacles are 2 gold.
There you go. These are probably not good manacles. They're probably shitty manacles worth 10 silver.
Dump them. Fuck it.
Fucking title is wrong on this thing. I went out of my way to change the title on this damn thing about 2 hours ago, and people are still going, the title's wrong. What the fuck? Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah, Frostmoor Crows.
Alright, while you're doing that, I'm gonna. It does say it at the top though, right up there.
Yeah, it does. Right at the top of the screen, it says Frostmoor Crows.
While you're doing that,
Um,
I'm just gonna quickly make another coffee.
Still, it makes sense. Would you like to take 5 for?
I think
Yeah.
5 would
Let's
be
take 5.
perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Let us take 5. We'll see everybody
Stay tuned.
in a few minutes. Take, stay tuned. Stay tuned for after school. Keep cool to after school. All right. Don't go anywhere.
Yo.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
Welcome. Welcome back. That was
Everybody's back.
fast. Okay. And we didn't have everybody just leave us. Yay. Thanks, guys, for sticking around. Cool. All right. So then, you make your way out of the camp early in the morning hours and start heading back across the desert. And so you travel for about 2 hours, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And then you are planning to stop and release your so-called prisoners, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, when we're out of the desert, I
Okay.
guess, or when we get them to like the nearest place where they can
Okay.
go about their way.
Sounds reasonable enough. Okay, so you free the prisoners and they thank you. And Lunara says to you, so where will we go now?
How far are they from the main city?
You're miles away from any cities.
It took us like 2 days to get this far, I think.
Why are we
And
dumping them in the woods?
We're not dumping them. We're removing their shackles, and they can decide if they want to. Obviously,
Right.
follow us from here. You know.
All right. So is it? Well, we need to go to the we need to go to the point of. I mean, I'm okay with taking them as far as wherever we met the Red Ravens because we have to go back and deal with them.
Yep.
So if they want to stick around with us, we'll take them to wherever the nearest Red Raven outpost is.
Right.
A town.
The nearest town. I mean, you could get to. There's a very tiny little outpost at the entranceway of the tunnel that goes through the Banakaya. So you know you could possibly leave them there. You're pretty sure the dwarves will look after them if you can get them that far.
I mean, I don't think we're obligated to do much more than we've freed these people. We've given them a second lease on life, so they can follow us, and then they can decide what to do. But we're under no obligation to continue to support them and feed them and protect them.
Your pocket's getting light, is it? Sawtooth?
I'm just saying, like, what?
No, we can't. And where we're going, there'll be danger, so we can't very well take these people with us. Well, yeah. Where are we headed? Like, distance-wise, how many days are we talking?
Okay,
treks
so
to
you're
get
looking
to
about
a Red Raven?
You're looking about 2 days' journey across the desert, along the side of the mountains, the edge of the desert, basically, until you get to the tunnel entrance. Which, yeah, that's like 2 days.
But the Red Ravens is at the tunnel entrance, or
Well-
No, that was just where we met our contact point. So that
Right.
might be a good place to start because he'll only be, I guess, within 4 days walk of that area, right?
or maybe.
I mean,
5
your
days,
contact was Brikutaka, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So he was the ranger, but there was
he's-
also a
Torval? I've got Torval with
Yeah.
a question mark written here. So I'm guessing it
that was
Torval.
that was the contact point, and he put us on to the ranger.
Right.
Yeah, there were 2 of them. So, yeah, Briku. Well, where were we meant to go once the job was finished to get to collect our reward?
You did not make such arrangements with your contacts?
Nithy?
I don't know what I know.
You're
Out of
Red
game.
Raven.
Does Nithy know?
Out of game.
Yeah.
Let us say that Torvel is going to pay you when you get back to the tunnel.
So
Alright,
I have to
well,
go back to the tunnel.
That's
That's
Right.
where we're heading.
All right.
And
Cool.
He's got some answers for us.
All right. So the first evening eventually comes, and you guys are going to set up some sort of camp or something that night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay, so we walk through the day. Do we want to walk through the night while it's temperate and then do what we did last time? So we'll walk for the full 24 hours and
Yeah.
then have a big rest during the next day, so that we're not walking through the heat.
Sure.
Yeah, get in down it. What are you?
Sure. All right. Well, while we're here, why don't we roll for initiative just in case anything happens?
Nothing.
21.
21.
Hey, 3.
Wow. 16 for Nithles.
Rolling my tricky bob here.
Good to know. Okay, so who's taking first watch, or how's it going to work?
Well,
I'll take
can we march for 24 hours, or would we suffer exhaustion?
I think we'd suffer exhaustion.
Yeah.
At least one level, right?
Are all the prisoners with us, or did some of them leave?
No,
still in the
they're
desert.
with you. They're not going anywhere because this is a
Okay.
desert.
Right. So they were asking what we do after we took them out of the orc camp.
Right.
Like, well, we'll take you to somewhere safe. So, I'll take first watch.
All right. So as you're taking first watch, can you make a perception check, please?
Oh, crit. 23.
Okay, so as you're taking first watch and you're looking around, you can see the moons on the horizon, the pillar, the steps, the high arch, the watchtower. The other 3 moons seem to be below the horizon right now, and the second sun has sunken below the horizon about 2 hours ago now, so it's pretty dark. And as the wind clears the clouds from the third of the 7 moons, the high arch rather, you hear this howl in the distance.
Can I do a nature check?
You can do a nature check.
3.
It could be
Okay.
It could be a fiend, it could be a hyena, it could be a dog, it could be a wolf, it could be a jackal, it could be
Alright.
somebody in the distance making fun
Howling.
of you. Howling.
I'll look around the camp. So try to make it a little bit more secure for the peasants.
Tell me about this camp.
Is there a wall? Can we have found a cliff? Because I think we would have taken the same path that we came through on.
Right.
If we walked
So-
for one day, we would have come to the location where we were ambushed previously.
Okay.
That we had set up a camp there as well.
All right.
We're in the exact same spot
the
because
exact
lightning
same
doesn't strike twice.
Right.
Yeah, because there we were attacked by wolves as well. Oh crap! Was it
Well,
wolves?
the
yeah.
bodies are here, but the
It was
bodies are
gnolls.
here.
It was gnolls we were attacked by.
Right.
And
Okay.
wolves.
So yeah, we're there. So we're against the cliff side.
Okay.
Slaves protecting Badtru in the back,
Yep.
and then we'll form we'll have like a ring of us around the tents. Well, actually, I don't even think we have tents. I think we have one tent left.
Okay. So you have
Yeah, one got smashed.
a
Yeah.
tent.
One tent for I don't know us because fuck it, we don't know them anything.
They're sleeping outside.
They can sleep outside. You two can. I'll give them my bear cloak and try to make them comfy, but I'll try and give them the tent too.
Now, do you have any fire in your camp?
Do we need
What would Riku Taku recommend?
He would recommend making a small campfire, and then putting it out after it had, done its work,
Okay.
so that it wouldn't be an obvious beacon to any enemies. So it would be a low fire, I suppose. Maybe just ashes at this point, or coals, hot coals.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll say it's just coals. That's fine. To keep them warm too, because they so they can huddle around the embers and not freeze.
And not freeze. Yeah,
Mm.
fair enough. Okay. Briku does look around. He's a little bit... can you make insight checks, actually? Or at least an insight check from Leoran.
Yeah.
11.
I'm trancing.
You're trancing. Okay, 11. You notice Briku walking around the campsite, Leoran. He's not sleeping. He just moves from place to place, checking things.
Is this out of character for him? I mean, we've done the camp a few times. Is this what he always does?
Yeah, more or less. But I mean, your insight check was an 11, so That was to sort of see whether or not you could detect any strange behaviour, and I feel that 11 is too low for you to detect any strange behaviour from him.
Cool. No, then I just forgot it. And I was like, it's just Briku being Briku. Classic Briku.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, he goes for a wander around the outside of the camp. It's gone for about 10 minutes.
Probably getting food.
12 minutes. 15 minutes.
Desert.
20 minutes. 25 minutes.
I should keep the fire going.
Half an hour.
Okay, something's not right.
35 minutes.
Sawtooth, wake up. If. Briku's been gone for a while.
Well, how long was a while?
Is he on a watch?
How does time work here? Do they have half hours? Half hour.
Yeah.
About 40 minutes at this stage.
Have
I'm
you
on watch.
considered perhaps he is just taking a shit after all that orcish food? It
How
did
is it-
leave me with an upset stomach as well.
How long does it take you to take a shit?
A unfortunate amount of time after last night's feast. It was very unpleasant. Do not head behind the rock about 40 feet from camp.
I think Briku, being an orc, would be far faster because I doubt they even wipe.
Gross.
Very astute point.
That's what tusks are for.
So,
Well, do you think we should go look for him, or?
I don't know if we should. No, we can't leave them. Do we move? He's still Red Raven. And he was one of the two.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't help us in the fight against the demon.
Didn't he?
He wasn't there.
He did. Where was he?
He wasn't.
Where was he?
He was in a tent.
led to another tent.
I also
He's
thought
a
he was
le-
a lady last time. Was he not a lady?
He's not
he
a fiend, is he?
No.
Yeah, he's not a fiend.
Good call there.
But you might be correct. He could be hightailing it out of here and hoping to get the drop on us, so to speak.
Or he's going ahead to get the reward for himself.
Wait, doesn't have. Oh,
Where,
wait. How do we?
where are his footprints? Yep, gone.
Were we asked to bring anything after the as a proof that we did the job? Like back to the
What,
Torgal?
proof that we don't have
No.
box anymore.
No.
I mean, we could have just dumped it into a river or something.
I've done many jobs where I did the old heave-ho into a river and said I delivered it.
I would like to think that my word as a paladin is good enough for them.
Is that? Do they just?
I
literally
don't
expect
care either
us-
way, I'm getting my reward after that.
Okay, but what do you think we should do right now? Like,
I get a- Perception check
Do-
from everybody, please.
do we head out and look for him and leave these folk behind? Or...
Has he left, 19, has he left tracks, Russ?
Can you make a
10.
survival check to see?
Alright, hang on. Ugh. 7. Can anyone see tracks? I saw him go. I can at least point out the way he went, right?
Yeah.
He went that
Yeah.
way.
No, I get a 5.
That's a nature check, not a
Oh,
survival check.
well, fucking.
That's the
sorry.
same. I think it's the same stat. Nature.
Yeah,
oh no,
but-
nature's in.
No.
Perception. Are we doing perception or what are we doing?
Okay, well, in that
Survival.
case,
And
survival.
survival,
right.
16. Sorry.
16, yeah, you pick up his tracks, Sawtooth. You pick up the tracks of a heavy-set Orkan ranger, you believe.
We can't leave these
They-
people unattended, and we should have faith that he isn't
The
doing
tracks,
anything we suspect.
the
Now,
tracks head
can
out
I,
from the
um,
front gate.
Yeah, I was about to say his
not
gate.
but the side of the camp. And they don't seem to be going towards any particular direction so much as the mountain, which is kind of next to you.
Now, Lorian, when he left, you
Leorin,
recall him
just call me Apples.
Mr. Apples. Do you recall if he had anything with him? Did he look like he could go for a couple days?
Can you make an investigation check?
My insight check was pretty shit anyway, so I was gonna say no, I didn't notice. Uh,
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
You can make an
yeah,
investigation.
nah, same thing. No, I don't know. He's a ranger. Doesn't he always carry all of his own shit with him?
Rothilian, you can make an investigation check. I suppose Nithles can too.
All right. So
Investigation.
what I'm looking for on these tracks is, I guess, he already has. Well, he's a ranger, so he should have a lighter like gait than most people, right?
He's an
Unless he's
orc
really
ranger.
hitailing it.
He's
So,
an orc ranger.
Okay,
so I guess that. Ooh, a natural 20.
Natural 20, and Nithles was a 21 as well. So
Damn.
you guys both noticed that a lot of his gear is still in the camp.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I'm not worried. He'll return when he's good and ready.
Okay.
He hasn't done anything that we've noticed that would mark him as a traitor or anything. You should have faith.
Right. Leran, as you're having this conversation, can you make a perception check?
Do the old ones count? 'Cause
Uh,
we did it before we started doing survival checks.
that's true. That's true. Perception.
19.
19? Yeah, okay. So you hear a and you see an arrow fly past your face.
Wait. Okay. Protect the slaves. Pull out my sword. Charge in that direction.
Alright, so it is your turn, Leoran. You're charging in the direction of the arrow.
Oh no, I can't. I have to stay and protect the others. All right. Can I see anything?
What's your dark vision range? You're a drow, so it should be 120, is that right?
120.
120. Okay, so what you see, Leoran, is a group of primitive-looking humanoids with fluffy ears and gleaming eyes that reflect the light like cat's eyes do. Big bug-like eyes on these fluffy humanoids.
Have we seen them before?
Have you seen them before? You can make a nature check with advantage because yes, you have. But the question is whether or not you can match the
Layarans,
silhouettes
yeah.
to something that you've seen.
A 12.
Yeah, good enough. You think there might be gnolls.
Okay. The gnolls. Alright, so I just shout the gnolls are back, and I don't think I have any ranged weapons. Oh no, I have javelins. How far away are they?
What's your AC, by the way?
Oh, 18.
18. Okay. A arrow attack with a 14 to hit roll whizzes up and bounces off your armor. Clank.
Jesus.
Leoran, what do you actually do on your turn though?
How far away are they?
You would say they are about 90 to 100 feet, kind of in a arc around the campsite, creeping forward, sneaking forward. They don't think you can see them.
All right, I will bless myself, Rothilian, and Ithilles.
All right, so you're going to bless yourself and your companions. Excellent.
So we have saving throw. Add a d4 to our saving throws and our attacks.
All right, and is that your action or your bonus action?
That is my action.
Okay. Do you want to use a bonus action?
Yes.
Right.
I'll also cast. Oh well, can I cast two? I can't cast two spells, can I?
You can't cast two leveled spells. You can cast a cantrip that is a bonus action.
I don't have
with a
cantrips.
leveled
Oh, I
spell
do have
as an
cantrips.
action.
I have dancing lights. I think we can all see in the dark anyway. No, that's fine.
Yep.
All right. No, that's me.
Okay.
I'll stand facing them.
Nithles. You've seen this arrow whiz through the group, and you heard the second one clank off Leoran's armor. What do you do?
Can I see anything?
60 foot
Can I
dark
see them?
vision? Have you got dark vision?
Yeah, I got 60 feet.
Yeah, sadly you can't see them. They're outside your dark vision range.
Okay. Okay, it's only myself. I will move towards the. Oh, okay, cool. I will move towards where the prisoners are.
Okay, very good.
Like in the. Are they like in a tent or are they outside?
Where would you like them to be? I'm thinking they're sitting next to a tent, maybe laying down on rugs, on blankets and cloaks and things. You only have one tent. Maybe a couple of them are in the tent and a couple of them out the front of the tent.
Okay, I'll just move to that area and then I cast Wording Wind around myself.
What does that do?
Well, It deafens everyone in the area, but it also means the attack rolls of ranged weapons have disadvantage if they pass in or out of the wind.
If they
Dick.
pass what?
In or out of the wind area. So like I got 10 feet dome.
Yep, that'll cover them.
Yeah, it'll cover them, so it means like any ranged weapon attacks going into the dome will have disadvantage.
Okay.
You
Good
put the
to know.
fire out.
I also put the fire out here.
And you put the fire out. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's basically your turn, yeah? Okay. Arrows start pelting the camp. Sawtooth, what's your armor class?
17.
Okay, you get hit by a longbow arrow
Oof.
for 7 hit points.
Okay.
One of your let's say Learan. One of these gnolls comes charging up over a wall and leaps at you, Learan, trying to bite you. For 15, that's not going to hit, is it?
Nope.
All right. Another one fires throws a spear at Leoran. And that is a 10. That's not
Aha.
gonna hit. Another gnoll comes charging in, casting a spear towards the campfire and towards Nithalis. What's your AC?
14.
It misses.
Yay.
Ruthilion, it is your turn. Sawtooth.
Okay. So the gentleman who just attacked,
Gentlemen, yes. That's what they
yeah,
are.
Mr. Apples,
Yeah.
the gnoll.
Yep.
I'm going to attack him with my halberd.
Right, so you go charging in with your halberd.
13 to hit for
that,
my first attack.
Oh, plus a D4.
plus a
plus a
D4 if you
D4.
want it. You don't have to use it though.
No.
Or
Is it only
True.
is it only once?
No, it's
for the whole
for
turn, isn't
concentration.
it?
Yeah, it's every attack.
Every attack. Okay, so you get the extra
Okay.
D4, so you might as well add it.
So it only adds
So
a 1 to it.
14
So that's
still
what
hits.
was it? Okay, hits. So first damage is 12.
Okay, 12.
And I go for my second
damage.
attack,
All right.
and that's a 24 to hit,
Hits.
and that is a 7.
Okay. That gnoll is very wounded and not very happy about life in general now. Another gnoll nearby, however, fires a bow at you from behind, rolling
No.
a 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
It's not going to hit you. And then another spear comes at you as well for a 6. These gnolls suck.
They're not rolling well.
Oh, that first hit was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Leoran. It's your
Alrighty.
turn.
Well, there's one in my face now, so
Yep.
I'll swing away.
Swing away. Roll to hit.
First one is 18 to hit.
18 hits.
That'll be 9 damage.
This is the same one that you've already hit, yeah?
Yeah, that one that Sawtooth
Okay.
smacked into.
How do you kill that one?
Just nothing special. Just because it's pretty dark, I guess I just slashed through his chest.
Alright. Okay, he falls to the side, gasping as his blood flows freely from his throat.
Alrighty.
Nithles. Unless
oh, well-
you've got something else, Leoran.
Yeah, I just want to move. So if I look around, so this thing jumped off a wall or something.
Yeah.
Are there any others nearby, or should I start charging towards the ones that are further away?
They are all moving in at this point. They fire arrows until they get to about 60 feet. Then they start throwing spears.
All right. Well, I'll run 30 feet towards them.
I lied. They don't throw their spears. They use their spears to fight with.
Alright, well, I'll run 30 feet towards them as
All right,
well, and
you
then
run
that's my
30
turn.
feet up. Okay, cool. All right. And now Nithles, it's your turn.
Can I see anyone?
You are seeing about 5 or 6 gnolls
Oh, okay.
breaking through from the darkness into the range of your dark vision now.
Okay.
Coming into the camp, each one is about 10 to 15 feet apart. None of them are standing next to each other, so there's no sort of concerns about being ganged up on exactly. at this point.
Okay, I'll cast Firebolt to whatever the closest one is.
Firebolt. Okay.
Yep.
Roll to hit.
So, is the blessing is to hit, right?
I believe
Yep.
so.
Bonus.
Any attack.
Okay, and that's a 1d4?
That's gonna hit.
Okay. Well, let's see my flavor. Oh, it would have been
Would have been
23.
a 23. Okay, so that hits.
Okay.
Yep.
So they take 11 damage.
Ooh, wow. Okay, 11 damage. Boof.
And also flammable object hit by the spell ignites if it isn't being worn or carried. Oh, okay, never mind. No, that's it.
All right, that's your turn.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the nearest knoll leaps up at you, Laoran, and tries to bite you twice.
Bring it.
First bite is a 23.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Bites you for 3 points of piercing damage.
3 damage.
Second bite is a 16.
No.
No. Okay, so that does not penetrate your armor. A hunter fires a bow at Sornel,
Hello.
missing you for an 8. A gnoll attacks Sornel with a spear. 16 to hit.
It does not hit.
Does not hit. Okay, Sawtooth, it's your turn.
Okay, so there's one engaging me with a spear, and then
Yep.
there's one that was targeting me with a bow. One's engaging in Liren, who's about 30 feet away, and then one got hit with a firebolt, who must be completely independent to these.
Yep.
That counts for all 5, so I'm just going to attack the one who's in front of me.
All right.
21
hits.
to hit.
Yep.
Yeah. That's 11 damage for my first attack.
All right.
23 to hit.
Yeah.
And the second is 9 damage on my second attack.
9 damage. All right. You cut off his ear and scar his arm quite severely. I see our friendly cat moving through Tim's background again.
No, he's back.
Doing circuits.
He just does circles, yeah. That's all he does now.
I feel quite bad for cutting off the ear because Sawtooth has half of ear on one side, and so he's like, "Ooh, sorry, buddy. I know how much that hurts."
Right, and at which point he goes to spike you with his spear for 21 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so you are taking 6 points of piercing damage.
Oh, take that back.
Another gnoll leaps over the tent, coming down with their spear into Nithles, attempting to hit Nithles with the spear.
Oh, is he like in the
16 to hit Nithles?
Yeah, it hits. Is he in the long distance, or is he just like right in my face?
Well, he came over the tent, so you didn't see him coming.
Oh, okay.
And he arrives with his spear, dealing 4 points of damage to Nithles with the spear.
Yep.
Laoran, it's your turn.
Oh, goody. Any within my...
Within your purview, what's your weapon range?
Oh, it's just sword.
Just a sword.
I think I'm getting it.
You can easily
Where's
move.
Sawtooth?
You can move 30 feet to the next knoll if you wish.
Are they? How many more are like still shooting, pelting with arrows, or are they all coming forward to melee? Melee
They're
range?
all,
you-
they're all
you
coming
got
forward
engaged
into
with a bite
melee.
before, didn't you?
As far as you can tell, they're all coming forward into melee.
Oh yeah. So, sorry, I'll take the one that bit me.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll to hit.
Oh, hang on, that's 8, but I'll do my thing. Come on. 11?
11 to hit.
Yes.
Does not hit.
Damn it! Alright, and in that one.
Oh, you drop your sword and lose your turn.
Great.
Okay, so
Alright,
you
well, that's
spend
me.
the next turn collecting your sword. Unless you want to do something else. It'll be a... Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I'll think about it.
Alright, Nithles.
I will Ray of Frost to the guy that struck me.
Alright, Ray of Frost.
So, and then a D4, it's a
15.
15, yes.
That just hits the knoll.
Whee.
Meets and beats.
So he takes 13 cold damage.
Okay, you kill that knoll.
Yay.
Excellent. So he just frosts up, freezes, and halts, and then collapses slowly to the ground as the mask of frost covers his face. Is that the end of your turn, Nithles? You
Yep.
got any more? No? That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. The nearest... one of the gnolls turns from its melee combat with Sornel and fires an arrow at Nithles. For a 17.
Is he disengaging from me?
No, he's just right next to you.
Is the wind still
Okay.
going?
He's still in melee range, but he's...
Okay.
Yes, the wind
changed
should be going.
weapon.
It's going for 10 minutes.
So it's got
And it's not a
disadvantage.
concentrate.
Ah,
yeah.
so the wind is going and it's disadvantaged. So I should have had
Yep.
disadvantage against that attack against you.
No, because it's only ranged weapon, so if he hit me point blank melee, then it's not disadvantage.
Okay, alright. So the damage from the longbow hit, 17 to hit, is...
But is the bow with disadvantage? Because that's an arrow going.
Yeah, it'll be with disadvantage.
Okay, yep, fair call. Alright, so that will miss with a 7. Okay,
Whee.
Ah.
cool.
Nice.
The next gnoll comes for Leoran with a spear. 23 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit. Drop my sword. Shit.
Right. Oh, and you take 10 points of
Oh,
piercing
chunky.
damage. It says as he spears you. The next gnoll attacks Sornel, also with a spear now. Rolling an enormous 11. That's not going to hit anybody, is it?
Does not hit.
Sornel, it's your turn.
Okay, so I got still 2 engaging me, or 1 fired a bow at Nathiles. 1's engaging in the spear. The one I'm going to attack the one that is bloodied.
All right.
So 8.
8.
Hang on, let me roll that d4.
Hang on. I have to see if how does concentration work?
If you're hit,
If you get hit,
lose
you have
it.
to make a saving throw, a con save.
Well, what's the saving throw?
The saving throw is 10, I think.
Hang on, we'll have to do that. Constitution
It's
saving
like
throw.
a death save, if I'm not wrong.
Luckily, with Bless, I get an extra d4 to it. Alright, 8 plus 2, 10.
Okay, cool. You're good.
Okay, so with that roll, which was a 4, that puts up to 12 to hit.
12 to hit does not hit.
Yep. Ah, rats. Okay, so then I'll use my second attack on him still.
Yep,
That's a 16.
that hits.
All right, I whack him,
Whack-a-mole.
and that's 11 damage.
How do you kill him?
So this is the guy that I took a little bit of the air off, and then he
Yeah.
spared me.
Yeah.
So this time I go to take a little bit more of his air off, but I completely misjudge it, and I just like lodge it into his skull.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna action surge.
After
And-
yanking your halberd out of his skull,
Yep. Yeah, scream in feral rage.
you
and,
might have to
go
kick
to
his
attack.
face off the halberd.
Yeah. And I'm going to attack the other one within range to me.
All right, roll to hit.
12. I'll roll.
Roll
my-
d4.
Oh,
you
can
might, you might.
Can I do it twice? Is it
Per
once per
turn? Is
turn?
it for every attack or once per turn that he gets to add his d4? Tim.
Tim?
Oh, whenever he attacks.
Every
Or
attack.
makes a save.
Doesn't
Everything.
matter.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that puts up to 16.
16 hits.
All right. Bam. 9 damage.
Ooh, okay, good.
And then finally, my 4th attack, which is a unnatural 20.
So this is second wind. A natural 20, did you say?
Unnatural
Oh,
20.
unnatural 20. Same enemy?
Yep.
Okay.
And
damage.
another 9 damage.
Another 9 damage. Boof. 9, not 98. Okay, he's very, very bloodied, you might say.
Yep.
Okay, and is that the end of your turn?
Sawtooth is just screaming as he's doing this now.
All right, so you're just like
Yeah.
having a little the equivalent
Meltdown.
of a rage.
Yep.
Okay, cool. The nearest gnoll strikes back at you with a spear. 11 does not hit you.
Nope.
But then he tries to bite you. Let me clear that. His bite attack comes in at 16.
Does not
Does not hit.
does not make it. Nope.
Okay. Leoran, it's your turn.
Alrighty. I drop my sword, then this thing fucking bit me or stabbed me for 10 damage.
Right.
I'm gonna Divine Smite punch him. For a nat 1.
For a nat 1.
Now what?
Alright, so can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Sure. Hang on. 8 plus 2, 10.
10. You slip on your butt, but you get up quickly using a quarter of your movement.
Alright, can I have my second punch?
Yeah.
Nice. There we go. 19 to hit.
That hits.
Alright, so Righteous Fury punch of 3 damage plus... Oh, 14.
14.
So
okay.
14, 15, 17 damage.
17 damage. Can you tell
Damn.
me? Null number 1, 2, or 3. Yep.
Which one? Which
Yeah.
one I'm hitting?
Yep.
Alright, hang on.
1 is already damaged. Severely,
Number 3.
Severely damaged. Okay, number 3.
The one who bit me, really.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And it was how much damage? 16.
17.
Okay, very bloodied. Excellent.
Good.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's me, unless I can use a bonus action to pick up my sword. I don't think I
I'll
can.
let you use a free action on this turn now to pick up the sword because
Aha,
I'm
cool.
that nice.
Thank you.
He just punched a guy with a heavenly smite. It cold cocked him.
Did you actually smite him with a punch?
Yeah, smite punch.
Wow.
So much.
Okay, that's amazing. Nithles, what would you like to do?
No one's attacking me, so I will firebolt a guy that's... Actually, who is in front of me? What gnolls are in front of
So
me?
there are 3 gnolls left.
3,
One
yep.
of them's fighting Sornel, one of them's fighting Leoran, and one of them is jumping through, jumping over the fireplace, the fire camp thingy, the low fire pit towards you.
That's where we are.
Yeah,
well,
that's where you
I am.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna Ray of Frost this guy as well.
All right, roll to hit.
So that's, and then the 1d4, where is it?
That's a hit.
20 flustered.
Yep, it's a hit.
Yay.
Ray of Frost.
6 damage.
6 damage. Okay.
Oh, but he gets a 10 feet speed reduction,
Ooh. Okay.
which I forgot about last time. But oh no, the other guy died, so you know, never mind.
All right. Well, this gnoll that has just jumped into your area, he attacks one of your prisoners, and that prisoner manages to get just out of the way in time.
Well,
He goes for another attack against the same prisoner, and also misses. Okay. The next gnoll attacks Leoran with a spear. Ooh, that's 22 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Leoran, you take 10 points of damage.
Alrighty.
Still standing.
Still good. Yeah,
Yeah.
paladin.
Okay, and his second attack is a bite for 20 to hit.
Yep, yeah, well, that'll hit. Let me just
And-
do my constitution throws too.
All right, and there's another
Yeah,
6
that's fine.
damage.
And second one's fine. Cool.
So Leoran is
Damage.
getting messed up by this gnoll right now. And it is Sawtooth Sornel's turn.
Okay. I call out to Leoran and Mr. Apples, you doing all right? As I attack the one in front of me. So 14. I just want to need to know if I need to roll my d4. I'll roll it anyway.
Roll
You
it
can roll it
anyway,
if you want to.
That goes to
3,
17 to hit.
That's a hit.
Yep.
And are you going for knoll number 1, 2, or 3?
The one, so not the one that got blasted by the ice,
Yeah.
not the one that's beating the shit out of Mr. Apples.
Okay. So the
It'll
other
be
one.
the, yep, and he
Alright.
should be bloodied already.
Okay.
So that's 7 damage on the first
Okay,
attack.
That kills him.
Okay,
leaves
well then
2
I won't bother
knolls.
rolling that.
Alright.
So attack him, and then I'm gonna cover the distance, hopefully towards Liren, which hopefully is within 30 feet.
Yep.
And then I'll use my second attack on the guy who is engaged with him,
Alright, roll the hit.
who's fighting the crap out of him. That's 20.
20 hits.
Yep. And 6 damage.
Alright, you kill that knoll.
Alright, that's good.
Okay,
And I offer up my hand to pull him up. Oh wait, you're off the ground.
I'm standing up.
he's standing,
no.
and it is
Off my hand anyway.
and it is your
Slap away.
turn, Leon.
Of course, my God is with me. See things done, and he brought you to me. Praise Lord. What's around me at this stage?
What's around you? Well, you're sort of on the edge of the camp. So there's a circle of stones that Briku laid out earlier. And there's, well, right now you've got a knoll in front of you. There's a cliff about 20 feet away that goes up 50 feet to
okay.
the next ledge.
So how many knolls left? Well, they got 2. Is there one with
there's
this?
one left?
Just the one. Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Well then, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just swing.
Okay, so you move to that knoll and you attack him with your longsword.
Yep.
Roll
For
a 10.
10 plus 4, 14.
Does not hit. Sadly. Oh, you know what?
Okay.
I let me double check that. No, he does not hit.
Second attack.
Second attack.
23.
That hits.
I'm not smiting him. I don't care. It's fine. 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay, so you get past his fairly decent parrying and guarding until finally you get a blow in there doing 8 points of damage.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
that's me.
That's your turn. Nithles, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna reinforce the guy that's in the camp
All right,
again.
roll to hit.
So that's a D4, 13 to hit. I think I missed this.
13, that will not hit, I'm afraid. Is that...
I'll jump in front of him and the guy he's beating, if I can, without getting an opportunity attack.
You're going to jump in front of him. He will, if you move, he will get an opportunity attack.
Okay, never mind. I'll stay where I am.
Okay, so you're going to stay where you are. Mad Girl Charlie asked the question, is Rathleon related to Sornal, that is to say, Avery? The answer is no. The name Sornal is the elven name that elves take when they're trying to divorce themselves from their lineage. It's like when filmmakers make movies that they wish they hadn't made, they often title themselves as Alan Smith or some such, basically to avoid being connected to their clan or their house or their name. So Sornal is just the name that all elves use to. It's like changing your name to somebody Smith or something like that. So yeah, it's for anonymity.
I like to think
Anonymity.
that
Anonymity.
with Sawtooth, it was that he was almost excommunicated. He's a bit of a pariah, and because of his rough and gruff exterior.
Right, because he's actually a high elf, isn't he?
Yeah,
Right.
he's very lowborn, or acts very lowborn.
Right, so he's kind of slumming it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Very good. Okay, so Nithlius, what did we say you were doing?
Nothing, because I
Nothing.
missed.
That's it. Okay, very good. Then the knoll makes its next attack against Leoran with its spear. First of all, 17 to hit.
No. Yay.
Okay, and then it tries to bite you. which will also miss as a 7. Sornel, it's your turn.
Yep. So I'm just gonna cover that distance, and I assume go for what is the killing blow, because I can't imagine he's looking too shit hot.
All right, roll to hit.
18.
Hits. Yep.
6 damage on the first attack.
6 damage. Okay, he's really messed up now. There's blood all over him. You've smashed in some of his teeth. He's got cuts and wounds. 10 to hit's not gonna hit.
And not with a
Not with
3
3.
additional.
No.
Okay,
sadly.
and
Okay.
that's all I can do. But finally, I am within range of an ally. So if anyone gets attacked, I can intercept the attack.
All right, Liran, it's your turn.
Alright, I'll take a swing as well.
All right, roll to hit.
Hang up. Nothing I can't roll higher than 12. Alright, nope.
Second attack
Yay.
is a
25.
25. Okay, that hits, and
11.
That gnoll is dead. How do you kill him?
Right off. Take the head off. I haven't taken the head off anything in a while.
Thack, 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 thack. It bounces across the stony Martian landscape.
Alrighty. So then all's quiet. That's it.
Everything goes quiet.
Hmm.
You can make perception checks though.
Isn't there a guy still next to me?
Nope.
Nah, that was the last one.
You killed him.
Oh.
Yeah,
No.
he is still next to you, but he is Sans head now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put my hand on Sawtooth's shoulder. Say good fight.
Yeah, and then I pick up the Knoll's head and I start moving the jaw and go, "Don't worry, Nithles, he won't hurt you. He's just a friendly pup."
You can have inspiration for that,
Oh, jeez.
Sawtooth.
What What's the quality of the spears?
Quality of the spears is low but sturdy.
All right. Well, give the spears to the slaves.
The spears have stone heads on them, like
Yeah.
Stone Age technology sort of business. They're cavemen level culture.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Grab the spears, and I'll divvy the spears out to the. And the bows. Actually, give them the bows. Give the.
Okay.
Is there any
Well, ask them
armor?
if.
Any what?
probably-
Sorry.
Armor from the gnolls? That is
From the gnolls.
not garbage.
The gnolls do have some armor.
Maybe give
It's-
that to the slaves.
It's not much, and it's
Give anything to them.
not very good.
Yeah.
It's kind of leather, patchwork leather with a couple of stolen bits and pieces. There's a like a knee patch and a pauldron and a piece of a chest plate and a bit of chainmail here and there, and mostly stuff that's been stripped off others.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
better
any
than
of
what
the-
they have.
Any of the slaves who feel competent enough to hold a weapon, ask them to come around and grab whatever they want.
Right. Okay. All right. So
might help out a little.
your now freed slaves are now armed with Stone Age weapons and a
Yay.
few bits of armor. They stand there looking kind of concerned and scared.
Caveman squad. Okay.
Mm. They all smell like wet dog.
Yes.
Alright, well, drag the bodies out of the camp at least, and then I guess we go back to resting.
All right. Very good. So going back to resting, you notice that Briku Taka has not returned.
Mm.
Oh, right.
We can't go chasing after him though.
Not in the middle of the night. No one knows around.
No, not with these
Wait,
guys.
is it the night?
It's
It
still
is.
night.
It is
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Sawtooth, do you want to go have a look?
I will walk maybe 60 feet from the perimeter of where Briku set the stones, and I guess I'll look for anything that could be his tracks or sign of like a scuffle with the gnolls. Perhaps if he met them before us.
Can you make a survival check, please?
Yeah.
Can I take a short rest? Is there enough time?
Maybe. We'll see.
That's 18.
18. You do pick up his tracks, and they lead up this dusty path up the side of the overhang, around it, and into this kind of up the set of sort of improvised stairs, if you like, in this little crevasse that goes up to the platform above you.
Where the gnolls came from?
You're assuming that's where they must have come from, yeah. And that platform then extends out in two directions, going even further up into the mountain.
Okay.
You can follow
So-
his tracks still.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm in the middle of the night by myself.
Okay.
But what I will do is I'll make a marking with something. What do I have on my person, and what do we have around? Though there's some little steps. I just want to make sure I can find them. So what I will do is I'll grab 2 arrows,
Okay.
and I'll stab them into the ground. And with one, I don't know, just break it in half.
Okay.
And then on it, because I possess a uniform of my company, a mercenary company of my choosing, I guess, I'll just rip a little bit of cloth off it and tie it to the other one,
Which
making
mercenary
it as visible as
company?
possible.
Which mercenary company is it?
Sornel is a real slut, and so he will travel throughout all the mercenary companies throughout his years. So
Okay.
he'll just change allegiance like that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
which company do you think he was with the last?
Red Ravens.
Probably the Ravens, yeah.
Red Ravens. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. That makes a lot of sense then. Okay. So you leave some Red Raven markings, so to speak. on
Yeah,
the
and then
ar-
I'll
on
head
the
back
arrows.
to camp and keep watch while everyone else rests.
Very good. Okay. All right. Can you make a perception check, please? Just before you head down back to the camp.
Is it everyone? Oh, it's him.
No.
Just Sornel.
17.
17. You think you hear like the growling of dogs or something up in the hills behind you above the camp.
Okay, I'm thinking it over in my head. Like, I could be in trouble. Don't act now, but could be a trap. What do we do? All right, I'm going to head back to camp.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one of those cool cowboy whistles they can do without using their fingers. You know,
Oh wow! Right.
Yep. And no, quietly. You know,
Yeah,
a quiet
yeah.
one, like, and
Okay.
get Liren and Nathalie's attention. And I'm gonna say, look, I found a path in the hills, and I hear some more growling coming up there. I think perhaps we should head up there and see what's going on.
Well, that seems like a reasonable time to ask for initiative.
Well, we can't. Yeah, well, we can't. If there's that kind of thing around us, we can't very well go back to sleep and
Yeah.
leave.
13.
And if they'll just wear us down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast lay hands on my. Ugh.
Gonna lay on hands on yourself.
Yeah. Touch myself up.
Do you
Just feeling my oats.
show us on
Just
the
let me feel
miniature
my
where
oats.
you touch the. Yeah. Okay.
When I think of Knowles,
When I think of
Um,
Knowles, I touch myself.
alright, I'm gonna give myself 15 HP back,
Okay. Very good.
which means I have 10 left,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then I'm ready to get up and trudge on. Slaves. Sorry, I don't know what I'll call you. I feel like there's probably a better word for you at this stage because you aren't slaves,
Just
but
People will probably go. I mean,
troops. You're now troops. Troops, you come with us. Stay behind. Stay back. But be ready. I'm not leaving you here unattended. It's too dangerous.
Hmm.
All right. So you guys together start making your way up that
Yep.
thing.
We'll leave the troops 60 feet back. They're just there so that we can keep an eye on them, not to fight, really.
Okay. As you're heading up this trail, I will get perception checks.
7.
15.
21.
And a 21. Okay. Well, Leoran, you believe you have found a trail of blood here, and drag.
Do I know what
drag
orc blood
marks.
tastes like?
What it tastes like? You can make a nature check.
Or what it looks like? Does it look different?
Orc blood.
2.
Do not put that in your mouth.
You don't know. You don't know.
Okay, fine. Well, there's blood here. I might do a quick divine 60 feet. I don't know if there's anything within 60 feet.
The pathway. Okay, so let's be very clear. You've got a very narrow sort of staircase that's almost naturally formed. It's kind of improvised. It's been scraped at and walked on for many years, but it's largely natural. It's riding through going through a crevasse, a very narrow, tight crevasse, if you like, winding its way up and around and through. And so above you are cliffs on either side of you, above your head, like 20, 30 feet now. So it's a very narrow set of stairs.
Well, that's good. There's nothing that can jump from the sides at us, at least.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Right up until the point when you walk into their ambush.
Right.
And they are crowded around the top of the crevasse, firing and dropping.
This is actually happening. This isn't hypothetical.
Spears on you. This is not hypothetical anymore.
Okay then.
Because suddenly you get a surprise attack with a bunch of spears thrown down at you. First one is a 23 to hit at Leoran.
Yeah.
This is a thrown attack, so it's 5 points of damage, Leoran. And no, you can't do another one. Okay, so the next guy throws a spear in. 8 misses. He can't make another attack. This guy. Okay, so at that point you see this huge gnoll with a headdress and everything, carrying a glaive in one hand, and he says something in Gnoll to the others. It sounds a bit like Yenigo! And then the other gnolls start jumping into the crevasse on top of you from above.
Damn.
There's 3 of them that jump in.
Fuckers.
And the third one, the first 2 look like hunter gnolls that you've just fought. But the third one, now remember there's a 4th one at the top who's the leader.
Yeah.
The third one that jumps in looks a bit different as well. This one does not have a fucking picture. Never mind.
Theatre of the mind, Russell.
Theatre of the mind.
Paint us a word picture.
Exactly. Okay, so this one leaps into the hole, just scrambles down the wall towards you and leaps towards Nithlius to bite her. The bite is a 23 to hit.
Yep.
Does 6 points of damage.
I react with my interception.
Okay, you gonna intercept that?
Yeah, I'm gonna, like, not so fast and slam my helmet down.
Okay, so that's a reaction.
Yep. So 4 plus 3, so it goes down by 7.
So the 23 is reduced by 7.
No, the damage.
Okay, so
Yep.
she
Heals
takes,
me by 1.
So she takes.
No,
Nice, cool story, Maria.
yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't take any damage. Excellent.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yep.
However, the creature has 2 short swords, which it then begins swinging. The first one at you, Sornel, because of your attack, misses because it's a 9, and the second one is still at Nithlius, which is a 10 that also misses.
Yep.
Nithlius, what would you like to do? It's your turn.
So this thing is right in my face. I will.
Plus the other 2 that are pretty much on top of your group.
Okay. I will cast Frostbite on the one that's attacking me.
All right.
So I have to do a con save.
Con save. Okay, so con save for this guy fails 3.
Yay. Okay. So he takes 6 damage, but he also has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll.
Okay, keep that in mind. All right.
Yes.
Um,
Does he have a name? Can we name him?
you can call him the Flesh Gnawer.
Flesh Nora, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so at that point, one of the hunters has 2 attacks. Okay, cool. So his spear attack at roll the sawtooth, 14 to hit.
Nah, it does not hit.
Okay. Second attack is a bite at you. It's a 19 to hit.
It hits me.
You take 5 points of piercing bitey damage.
Yep.
From the gnoll. The next gnoll is going to attack Apples. First attack is a bite. Natural 20.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You take critical damage. Why is it not letting me do the thing? Here's a critical damage roll. That's not much. 5 points of damage from a bite.
Oh, damn.
However, the spear attack is still coming. And that... Oh, it was nearly an 18. But it was an 8. Misses you. Rothilian, is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to lay into the Flesh Nora.
Yep.
Flesh Nora Jones.
Yes.
He is now known.
Flesh Nora Jones.
15 to hit.
15 to hit the Flesh Nora. That does hit.
Okay, so first bit of damage is 6.
6.
I'll swing a second time.
All right. You've bloodied
And
him,
that-
by the way. 8
I
doesn't
bloodied
hit.
him.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's already
That's
hit
only an
once.
8,
8.
so that does not hit.
No. Okay. The guy at the top.
Oh wait, well, I will use a bonus action for second wind,
Okay.
so I'll just gain some HP back.
All right. Fine.
So 1d10 plus 5, so that's 9. Just practicing my breathing, and I feel a little bit better.
Okay. The one at the top has a bunch of. He's holding a glaive. What does he do? I think he's going to leap down towards the back of the pack, the back of the party. Who's at the back? What's your marching order?
Oh, we don't know.
I think it's what I
Liran-
imagined was Liran at the front, me
Yep.
behind him, and then Nathiles towards the back,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then I guess 60 feet behind Nathiles is our
Team.
freed slaves.
Troops.
Okay.
Troops. Call them troops. Let's do meeting.
So-called troops. Okay, so the glaved one, the pack lord,
Yeah.
leaps down at the back and attacks Nathiles. Rolling a natural 1.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's why you don't jump off cliffs.
So he goes for Nathiles, and instead he fucking hits one of the other gnolls.
Oh,
Nice.
And he does...
Embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It is very embarrassing. He kills the Flesh Nora. Oops.
This is asserting his dominance.
His second attack comes up at Nathiles, however, for a flaccid 20.
Alright, yeah, that hits.
That hits, doing 12 points of slashing damage.
I leap forward with my helmet again and try and deflect a little bit.
Okay, now bearing in mind, Nathiles is in front of you, narrow pass.
So I'm imagining I'm jabbing past her head.
Over her.
Yeah.
Okay, with a bit of reach. Okay,
Yep.
you can roll to hit.
Okay. It's just a deflection, so it's just
Oh, okay.
5 points of damage less.
Okay, so
So that's 7.
that would sound right. Yep.
We.
It's just to take a little bit of the momentum away so it doesn't hurt as bad.
All right. Good. Leoran, it's your turn.
Alright, so we're in this narrow pass. Like, alright, if we were in like you said, with the standing order,
Yeah.
how many gnolls are in front of me?
2.
Like I'm at 2. Okay, cool.
There,
And then behind.
Yep.
And then right behind me and between me and Sawtooth, are there any?
between you and Sawtooth, no.
So I'm kind of in the
Actually,
middle.
you know what?
You guys are either side.
I'm going to change that because I did say they came down to attack you from above. So
Yeah.
let's say there's one in front of you, Leoran, one behind you, Leoran, who was in front of Sornel.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn and cast, as a bonus action, I'll cast Shield of Faith on Nithles. So you have a +2 to your AC.
There's
Yay,
four
Need
of
to remember that.
them and 3 of you.
But one died when he got jumped. The Nor got
Right,
jumped.
so that guy
killed.
died.
Yeah.
Okay, and if that's Leoran. Okay, so
because I got hit by at least 2 of the normal ones.
Yeah.
right, so there's nothing between Rolithan and Nithles right now.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna. So I do that. I cast Shield of Faith. So that's concentration, but her AC is now 2 more, 16.
All right.
And then I'll turn on the one knoll in front of me, or 2.
What did I say? Well, there's definitely one in front of you. There's one in front of you and one behind you.
Cool. All right. So centered on myself so that it captures both of them.
Right.
I'm gonna cast Darkness.
Darkness on yourself.
Yep,
Okay,
on
so it's
myself.
20-foot range. 20-foot radius, doesn't it?
15.
15 foot?
15, I believe.
How is that not going to cover the whole party?
Well, all right. So that's what I want to do. I want to aim it in a point where the darkness will envelop myself, this knoll, and the knoll behind me.
Right, and then the rest of the darkness is in front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to aim it
I wanna
ahead
be
of
in-
you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Into the where we were walking.
You
Yes,
can
so-
totally do that. You can totally do
Sick.
that. Okay,
So that's it. So yeah, just me and the knolls.
Rithilian and Nithales, you see this fluffy, cloudy ball of black darkness manifest itself around Apples and the 2 gnolls that he's in combat with, leaving you 2 alone with 2 other gnolls. One other
right.
gnoll, because one's dead.
One.
Yep.
You guys deal with the big boy.
The pack leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, so you guys have the pack leader at the back. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Is that the end of your turn, Leoran?
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Nithles? Would you like to attack the pack leader?
I will Ray of Frost the big guy.
Yep, he's the only one you can see now.
Yes.
Okay. So
And
does he
that
make
is
it's
a 14 to hit.
Sadly, that does not hit him.
And that's all I can do. Do I have no bonus actions? Oh, I don't. Yeah, that's all I can do.
All you can do. Okay, very good. First hunter has disadvantage to attack Apples. And fails miserably. He gets a second attack, which is a spear, but it's also disadvantage. That misses terribly. The one behind you gets to attack you. Oh, you know what? They're flanking you, but they do have disadvantage. But they whatever it evens itself out.
Well, I mean, you're blind. It doesn't count as a flank if you're blind.
Really?
I don't know. I'm debating this one. Because I feel like.
All right, I'll play nicely with you. Second attack is a 17.
No, almost.
Almost, okay. And Rothilion, it's your turn. You're
Okay.
up against the pack leader.
To make sure that I still think that I can get range at this the pack leader, because I'm
Yep.
behind Nithales, because we're a real narrow thing, right?
Yeah.
Can I, like Sam Fisher my way up and one leg either side of the thing and just stab the pointed end of my helmet down?
You can tell you what you can do. You can make an either acrobatics or athletics check. If you
Okay.
succeed, you will have advantage on this attack.
Okay.
And if you fail, you will have disadvantage on this attack.
Okay, I got 11.
An 11. Yeah, I
Yep.
don't think so.
Okay, so disadvantage it is?
Yeah.
Disadvantage, sorry? Didn't hear you.
Yep, disadvantage.
Okay, cool. Okay, first attack is a 15 to hit.
15 does hit.
Okay. And that's 8 points of damage for the first attack.
8 points of damage
And-
for the first attack. Yep.
For the second one, disadvantage, and that's natural 1, unfortunately.
Is that the to hit roll?
Yep.
What are you using?
Halberd.
Your halberd gets stuck in the wall,
Oh,
and that's going to be your first turn next round. Instead of an action, you're going to be making an athletics check to get it out.
okay.
Okay. Leoran. Oh wait, no.
Ah.
That was your turn, wasn't it, Rothalian?
Yep.
Okay, so it's my turn. All right. Bite attack at Sornel.
Yep.
Misses. Unless a 14 hits.
Nope.
It's like no.
Nope.
Glaive attack at Nithles.
Mm-hmm.
7 misses. Right, that's my 2 attacks. But then he incites a rampage in one of the gnolls. Oh, he has to be able to see him. Okay, you're lucky.
Howls
lucky.
impotently to nothing.
Right, he cries out to the other gnolls, but they can't see him, he can't see them, and he is unable to give his command. Leoran, it's your turn.
Sweet. All right. I'm gonna use my blind fighting
Uh-huh.
to attack the gnoll in front of me,
Alright, roll to hit.
and he has I have advantage.
You have advantage. Mad Girl Charlie says you've got to get the hooded lantern trick. Do you know the hooded lantern trick?
What's the hooded lantern trick?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, all right. Okay. Anyway. So
Luckily,
23 to
I
hit.
have
23
Google.
hits, yep.
That'll be 9 damage,
9 damage, yep.
and then second attack.
Second attack,
21 to hit.
that's a hit.
That'll be 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. Well, I would tell you whether or not he was wounded, but you can't see him.
No, I can't.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it says effectively I can see them.
Effectively.
But yeah, no,
I think you see
no, you're
more
right.
like
you still
like
have
how
disadvantage on
Daredevil
an
sees.
investigation check.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, Nithlius, it's your turn.
Mhm.
Nithlius.
I will Ray of Frost that guy again, the one that we can see.
Frost. Okay, go for it.
Hooded lantern
Ah.
trick.
8.
8 to hit.
Yep. I got really
So
4 rolls.
Basically, what happens is you go to Ray of Frost him with your hand, and he just shoves your hand into the wall, so that you
Ow.
miss. Okay, so the hunter that's fighting Leoran has disadvantage to 2 attacks. The bite attack comes first. Oh, that's a 10, even though I rolled a natural 20 on one of those. And the spear attack has disadvantage. Oh, fuck, another natural 20 also failed.
Oh.
Okay. The next gnoll, which is behind you, Leoran, but has disadvantage because he's in the dark. Bite attack rolls a 10, and the spear attack rolls a... Come on, gnolls. Another natural 20. But it was offset with an 18, a natural 18, which comes out at 22, so that is going to hit you.
Damn it.
That's the spear. 2-handed. Oh, come on. 1 plus 2, 3 points of damage. 3 points of damage for that. Rothilion, it is your turn.
Okay, the Flesh Nora Jones
Yep.
was using 2 short swords, was it?
The Flesh Nora was using 2 short swords, yes. 2 nasty looking, pretty shitty, not very well crafted short swords, yes. Old, rusty, bird, dinged.
Could I, rather than spend an action pulling my halberd out of the wall, can I pick that up and just make an attack?
You can do that as a free action.
What would you use for the stat block? I got a long sword one here, but I don't think it would go for that. I'll look for a...
Well, it's a short sword, so you just add a
yeah.
short sword. It's a
Okay.
d6 damage. Do you have proficiency in short swords?
I do in martial weapons.
Alright, so then it should just be
Let me just quickly add one in.
a very normal single
Yep,
attack.
a very normal, yucky looking sword.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably
Come on, give me my search bar.
if you take into account all of the gnolls stats, I think if someone other than the Snoll was using it, it might be -1 to hit.
All right. I'll add it in, and we'll have a look and see what we got. Okay, it's been added. Short sword. There we go. Cool. And then attacks. Okay. So it's a +5. So we'll go with a +4 instead.
Yep.
Okay. Rats. That's a 7.
7. Poo. Okay, that misses.
Oh, well, I get 2 attacks.
Two
So
attacks, yeah.
second one. Oh my god. 7.
Oh my god. Okay, so the Pack Lord, you come in with the 2 short sword attacks, and he's guarding with the glaive, trying to fight you off. You and Nithlius at the back there.
Okay.
And it is his turn to rebut, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So his first rebuttal is a glaive attack to Rothilion. That is a 18.
That hits.
Rothilion takes 6 points of damage. Second attack is again the glaive this time, 22 to hit.
Against me?
Yep.
Yep.
This is a 12 damage.
Whoa. Yep.
All right. And he cannot incite rampage. So Leoran, it's your turn.
Righto. Right, well, I'll attack the one in front of me again.
All right, roll to hit.
A 24
Hits.
and 6 damage.
He dies.
Good.
You feel him,
Right,
you
and
hear
then
him
turn around.
scream out, and okay, so you pull your weapon out of him, spinning around and attacking the other knoll on the other side of you.
And that is 25 to hit.
That hits.
And 7 damage. And why not? I'm gonna smite him too.
Okay. Smite away, Mr. Bond.
Oh, that's good. Another 12 damage.
Oh, 12 damage. Okay. All right. Nice. That's the end of your turn, yeah?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Nithlius.
So just the big eye. Oh, it's the only one we can see still.
He's the only one that you can see is the Pack Lord. He's got a bit of a scar so far that Rothilion's hit him once with his polearm, but his polearm's now stuck in the wall, which is kind of causing a bit of a problem, really. But that's all right. It's not going to be a mechanical problem at this point. Not yet.
I'll try doing a frostbite on him, so he has to do a con save.
Con save on the Pack Lord. He rolls a 16.
Saves.
Sorry. Anything else?
Nope.
No. Okay. Hunter fighting apples. First attack with disadvantage is a bite. Rolls a 16.
Nope.
And second attack with a spear at disadvantage in the dark. Rolls a 13. It's not going to hit.
Nah.
Okay, Rothilion.
Alright, I'm still going with my Knoll short sword. I'm just gonna stab away. So that is a 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, that does 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage, yep. So you've done
I
about
attack
14 so
again, and that time it's very poor. It's an 8. I do not hit.
Do not hit. Any
That's
other?
all I can do, and I can't do no more.
Okay, so the Pack Lord responds to that firstly with a bite against you, Sornal.
Yep.
That's an unnatural 20
Oof.
for
Yep.
4 points of piercing damage.
Yep.
And then a glaive. This can go at Nithli, actually.
Sorry, how much was the damage? Was it 4?
4 for you, yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Nithli's, the glaive strikes you for a 21.
Yeah, that hits.
That's gonna hit, and you take 7 points of
I'll
slashing damage.
throw up my short sword and intercept that one as well.
Alright, so you're intercepting
So,
all of it. That saves
yeah, all of it.
all of your damage.
But
All
if
of
you
it?
want a little bit of flavor, I'm happy for that short sword to shatter.
The short sword shatters.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to do about that, but okay, go for your life. Leoran, it's your turn.
Oh, nice. Alright. I'll swing away at this dude.
Alright.
Ooh, there was a 1 in there.
Yeah,
22
hits.
to hit.
Yep, okay, so that's the second of the hunters. Alright,
5 damage.
You kill him.
Yes, good.
Alright.
And then I will dissolve the darkness and...
So you just stop concentrating on it, right? Is it an action to dissolve it or not?
I
you
don't
free?
know.
Because all you're doing is stopping.
Yeah, all I'm doing is
Thinking,
stopping my
right?
concentration. Yeah, just
Some
don't think
spells
about
do
it
say
anymore.
something about it as an action to dismiss it or something like that. So
Doesn't say anything.
doesn't say anything. Okay, let's let it go then. Okay,
cool.
so
And then I guess am I in range of this other dude? Once I've dissolved, like, could I just run up to him?
you can just move up to him, yeah.
Cool. And I'll take a swing. If is he in, like, because it's a narrow thing? Can I get to him or?
Yes, you can. You can get to him. He's actually got his back to you right now.
Haha. Sweet. All right. Well, I'll attack.
All
Oh, crit.
Oh,
right.
Nice.
Do your critical damage.
12 damage.
12 damage. All right. He doesn't like that very much, and he is now bloodied. Do you have any more attacks, actions, bonus actions, movement, flavor, dialogue?
No, I'm good. No.
You good?
No. Yeah.
Right. Oh, Torquemada. Talk is here. I'm not going to say Torquemada because I always get it wrong. Torquemada. Torquemada. Am I saying this right? Torque? I don't know.
talk.
Just call it
Ramada.
talk.
I know. He's told me to call him Talk before, and I tried to remember that, but you know, there you go. Okay, so what did we do? Did you make an attack roll?
Yeah.
that was great. Yeah, he's bloodied, isn't he?
Crit, and you bloodied him, right? Okay, cool. All right, so that was Leoran's turn, yeah. You're up. Okay.
Your shield's gone too. Yeah. Sorry.
Nithles, it's your turn.
I will try to. I'm gonna Ray of Frost that guy again. Maybe I'll hit him one time.
Frost him, okay.
11.
Does not hit.
Nope.
Why is your Ray of Frost so crap?
I think it's my rolls. I'm getting like below 10 on everything.
Oh no.
Hey,
Okay.
you've still got a inspiration that Charlie gifted us for a reroll that we haven't
I thought
used yet.
No, that was for you.
No,
I just said
she-
characters. It's a group one.
I got an inspiration
Oh.
for what joke did I make?
The
did
kobold head. Null head.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so Nithles, what would you like to do?
What does inspiration do again?
You're back. I just really want to
You
be
just can re-roll it.
You want to re-roll your
Oh, okay.
attack, or do you want to leave it?
Yeah, re-roll,
there?
might as well.
Re-roll it, okay.
Ooh, a 13.
13. Anything on top of that? You got any blessings or d4s you can add to that, or
Nope.
no? Okay. 13. Sadly, is not good enough.
Oh,
Is that the end of your turn, Nithles?
Yep.
Okay. Sawtooth, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna think a little bit outside the box here.
All right.
All right. And just tell me how stupid I'm being.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump up and grab my halberd.
All
All right.
Yep.
But since it's lodged firmly in the ground, I'd like to swing on it
In the wall.
and
but yep.
from above attempt to grapple the pack leader.
So you're going to basically make an acrobatics check,
Yep.
and if you succeed, you can have advantage on a grapple.
All right, you got it.
All right.
You got it.
If you fail, you have disadvantage.
10.
Fail. Disadvantage on your strength athletics check.
Okay. So just pure strength or athletics?
It could be athletics, but it's a disadvantage in any case.
Okay. All right. Where are you? Disadvantage. Roll. Poop. 10.
Okay. So you go to
Good hand.
grapple him, and he just shoves you away. You
Rat.
spin around on the thing and land next to him and try to grapple him, but he just shoves you back with one hand, pushing you away. That's your turn, yeah?
Yep.
At which point our friend the Pack Lord thrusts his glaive up into your chest if he can, rolling a 15 to hit.
Does not.
Okay, so you narrowly avoid that, but he strikes one more time. 10 is not going to hit you.
Nope.
He cannot incite any rampages because he has no friends left. Leoran, he calls out though to the other pack members a couple of times and then realizes there's nobody coming. Apples, it's your turn. Tim, that's you. Your apples.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry. I will just. I don't want to waste. I've only got one spell slot left. I'll just attack.
Attack. All right, roll to hit.
So 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Oof, 11 damage.
11 points of damage.
And.
All right.
25 to hit.
Yep.
Damn, what the hell, Tim?
And 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Okay, the pack lord looks very injured. You almost got him right through the eye, but instead scratched him across the face and down and cut his shoulder. He narrowly avoided that death thrust. Do you have any other attacks, actions, bonus actions, movement, flavor, dialogue?
Oh, just shout for Sawtooth to finish him.
All right.
Yeah, I have no weapons at the moment.
Punch him!
Nithles, it's your turn.
Yeah, I was going to.
Nithles, it's your turn.
Yeah, Ray of Frost again.
Ray of
Maybe I'll let
Frost.
him at some
Right.
point.
Charlie gave
This
you
one's-
another bit of inspiration, by the way.
Yeah,
Alright.
because I got rolled 11.
You want to roll your inspiration again? Yep, roll it now.
A 16.
16 hits! Yay!
Oh, finally!
Hey.
Oh my god.
And would you like the good news, Nithles? Because
11
the good news is
damage.
that he had 1 hit point, and you
Whee!
Oh my
frost
goodness.
him in the face, and he dies. And we shall wrap up there today.
Yeah.
Yay!
ladies
Thank you,
and
Charlie.
gentlemen.
Can we quickly just go see where did that blood trail lead?
The
They're
blood
up the
trail
path.
leads up to the dead body of your friend Briku Taka.
Oh.
Yep, definitely dead.
He is well murdered.
Well murdered.
What were they
All
doing
right,
out
then.
here, though?
This is
On their
territory.
own.
Hella.
They live here.
This is where they live.
No, what was he
So-
doing out here?
Was he
Yeah.
doing? No, he was
Oh,
looking
he-
around. He thought he heard something and he went off looking for it.
Oh,
Went into a cave? Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
silly.
That's why
Thank
you
you
don't
very much,
split
Russell.
the party, Briku.
yeah.
Thanks all.
Talk said you have no weapon. You have to only write a strongly worded letter.
I was gonna punch. In fact, let's say that I punch him, and as he turns to ice, my fist connects, and then because it's pure solid ice, I go, ah, god damn it. Because shattering is just, you can't shatter an ice sculpture with your hands. It's solid ice.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
So we're going to
Haven't you guys ever seen Riverdale?
raid somebody today. I'm going to go to the Creator dashboard and see who's available to be raided on this fine day. Well, there's a group called Teaching Gamers. They've got 26 people watching D&D. We have No Quiet Proficient. They're playing Minecraft. Screw that. Scarlet64 is playing D&D with 69 viewers. Strimton is playing D&D with 89 viewers. I vote we go for the D&D channel with the least number of viewers.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so Teaching Gamers, here we come. It's a very pretty looking channel, hopefully. And we are rating them in 5, 4,
See everyone.
Bye.
3, 2, 1. Adios, people. Good night. Good, the things. Bye. We'll see you later, Tim.